It's senior day in Princeton, and it's the second most played rivalry in all of college football. Today, for the 147th time in a series that dates back to the 1870s, it's the Princeton Tigers and the Yale Bulldogs. As we take a look at the Ivy League standings presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the Tigers looking to bounce back after dropping 3 straight. The Bulldogs, meanwhile, 4 consecutive wins. They control their own destiny. Wins the next 2 weeks, and they'll head to the postseason. Hi, everyone. Alongside Dave Giancola, I'm Cody Crushell. Dave, in a year where for the first time ever the Ivy League champion gets to go to the FCS playoffs, the Bulldogs exactly where they want to be.
They're in the perfect position. 2 games to go, controlling your own destiny, and the opportunity with a win here to set up a huge game at the Yale Bowl against the Harvard Crimson next week. For Princeton, no doubt it's been a disappointing 3-game skid, but a young roster would love nothing more than to honor their seniors with a huge upset here at home.
The Bulldogs come into this weekend with a top 10 scoring defense. They also come in on offense with maybe the front runner for the Bushnell Cup. That's the Ivy League Player of the Year award in senior running back Josh Pitzenberger.
He can do it all. Take a look at the first play from scrimmage a week ago against Brown, 62 yards to the house. He's got nearly 300 more yards on the ground than anyone else in the Ivy League. He's a do-it-all running back that has dominated Princeton in 3 games against the Tigers in his career.
And for Princeton, freshman wide receiver Josh Robinson, already a 5-time Ivy League Rookie of the Week. He's electric.
He can do it all. He has burst onto the scene, and as the temperatures cool down, the rookie from Tampa, Florida, continues to heat up. He is a reliable go-to receiver when Princeton badly needs a first down.
Nice crowd following in for senior day here in Princeton. And as we get set for the opening kickoff, let's send it down to the sideline. The third member of our broadcast team, Natalie Calabat-Witten.
Cody, vibes are high and vibes are emotional. In pregame, when I talked to Princeton University head coach Bob Surace, he said his emotions were too high. He said when the players ran out of the tunnel and were honored for senior day, he said that he could remember each and every single one of their recruiting stories, couch conversations with each and every one of the players to try and recruit them to come to Princeton. And he also mentioned 2 seniors in particular stepping up and leading this program by example, Nasir Hill and Marco Scarano. He said those 2 players worked with the team on workshopping, and their 4 words of example were grit, love, sacrifice, and discipline. So we'll see a lot of that on the field today. But Coach Surace said once kickoff happens, it's time to coach and get serious.
28 seniors honored today on senior day, their final game. For most of them, it's right a little bit up in the air. You don't know who has the extra year that they can take. Those conversations generally happen after next week's game against Penn on the road. But senior day emotional here in Princeton. Everything to play for the Bulldogs and for the Tigers trying to send their seniors out with one more home victory.
Yeah, huge game here at home. They will receive the ball, will the Tigers, first as we see the opening kickoff.
Fair catch called for. This will be a returnable Christian Lynch, who took a step into the end zone. So Princeton are they going to mark this down at the 2, or is this going to come out?
Looks like they're going to.
Princeton will have the football at the 2. Fair catch signal, fair catch not made, so that'll be where he touched it. As we take a look at the starters, Princeton will bring the offense onto the field here. Look at the offensive line, some question marks at left tackle. Cooper Coors has been banged up the past couple of weeks. Kai Colon, the senior quarterback, one of those 4 captains leading the offense out on his senior day. Told you all about Josh Robinson and the junior running back Ethan Clark. Last 4 games, he's averaging 85 yards per game on the ground.
Yeah, this is not the area of the play sheet you want to look at on the first play from scrimmage on your own 2-yard line.
First play of the contest, give is to Clark. That'll give the Tigers some breathing room as he shakes a tackle and plunges forward for a gain of 13 and a Princeton first down.
Exactly what the doctor ordered, in the shadow of your own end zone after a mishap on the opening kickoff, and a huge gain for Clark to get them a little more breathing room and open up the playbook here on another first down.
Ethan Clark, the 6'1 junior out of Clarkston, Michigan, 4th in the Ivy League in rushing yards, even though he's been banged up. He's found the end zone in 6 of the Tigers' 8 games this season. 1st and 10, high snap, right back to Ethan Clark. Pushes forward for a gain of 4 on the second play of the day for the Tigers. Let's take a look at the Yale defense. We told you 9th in the nation in scoring defense. Harvard, of course, number 1. They've got playmakers at every level. Ezekiel Larry has 8 sacks on the season. They have the Ivy League's leading tackler, Numinum Ayo DeRoche, one of their linebackers. Cologne looking to go to the air for the first time. He's going to slide across the 25-yard line, marked down just short of the marker.
And Kai Cologne came into the year with very little playing experience and has gotten a ton and solidified himself as the starter this season. And the decision-making has continued to improve week over week, and you see that there with the tuck and run.
It was rough sledding early last week. Kai Cologne came into that Week 7 matchup or Week 8 matchup at Dartmouth with 9 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions. He threw interceptions each of the Tigers' first 2 drives. Dartmouth converted them into a pair of touchdowns. It was 14-0. Outside of that, he's made some pretty good decisions in his first season as the starter. Back to Clark. That's always a good decision, and that moves the chains for the second time.
Princeton getting it done on the ground, albeit one not a designed run, but we know what Yale can do on the ground with Pitzenberger. So if Princeton can get the run game going and control the clock a bit, time of possession will be a big variable here today.
You just saw Abu Kamara, their nickel back. 2 interceptions in a Week 2 victory against Cornell. First team All-Ivy. Honorable mention All-American last year as a sophomore. Back to Clark, who's already got 4 carries to open up this contest. Gain of 4 on first down.
And you'll take that every time. 4 yards on first down just keeps you on schedule in terms of down and distance and play calling. See if Cologne goes to the air for the first time here on second down.
Clark last year coming off missing 2 games with an injury before that Week 9 Princeton loss up in New Haven against Yale. Had a really good contest. 12 carries, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Bulldogs. Heavy dose of Ethan Clark. This time Yale sniffs it out, and he's tackled after a gain of 2.
So a huge third down here for Princeton, having yet to go to the air. They bring in Jackson Green, the talented 2-sport athlete here at Princeton. Wears number 4 both on the football gridiron and the lacrosse field. He'll be split out wide left.
You've got Jackson Green, a 2-sport athlete. Josh Robinson, the 5-time Ivy Rookie of the Week, slot right, and then Roman Lorio, who's 3rd in the Ivy League in yards per catch, wide right. So the Tigers have some playmakers on the field. First third down of the contest. For the Tigers, that's an area where they've struggled, just 41% on the season. 3-man rush, clean pocket. Cologne flushed. He's going to run, and he's got the first down and then some. Steps out of bounds right at midfield.
And almost certain he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, but if he did, they would have said run right when he did, because the pressure was coming from behind. Good protection from the offensive line. The clock kind of ran out in his head. He said, I'm going to tuck and run, and it was the right decision for a huge first down to midfield.
Kai Cologne, you mentioned the relative lack of experience prior to this season. He had attempted 1 career pass over his first 3 years. Pocket collapses, and Cologne gets buried. Deep in the backfield, Cooper Austin, the junior from Pittsburgh, 2nd-generation Bulldog with his first sack of the season.
And an emphatic one at that. One thing Princeton has not done well is protect the quarterback. They've given up a ton of sacks, and we'll talk about that stat line because Yale's done exactly the opposite. They've kept Reno clean, and Princeton's going to have to improve, or they're going to find themselves in a lot of long yardage situations like they do now. It's 2nd and 17.
You mentioned Yale. They've allowed 4 total sacks in 8 games. Princeton, that's their Ivy League leading 24th sack they've allowed. This has been an offensive line that's been banged up. Back to the 43, and we have a whistle and a flag come in as the clock hits 0.
Well, compounding the sack with the delay of game will bring it to 2nd and 22 for the Tigers.
Bob Surace has talked about all the injuries, and there's been shuffling on the offensive line. You go back to that opening kickoff, Princeton, their kick returner the past few weeks has been Christian Lynch, who's essentially third on the depth chart there. They had Kenny Jordan. He's been out the past few weeks. They had Kai Honda. He's been out. So you go to Lynch, who just doesn't have a lot of experience in that setting at this level, and it's tough to have to get that experience in the middle of the season against a really good conference opponent.
You're absolutely right, and Princeton goes back to the ground there with Ethan Clark for a good game, but still yet to get back to the original line of scrimmage, which was the 50-yard line. So 3rd and 14 here for the Tigers. No choice but to go to the air, you would think. Trips right, 3 receivers.
10th play of the opening drive. Princeton's been on the field for nearly 6 minutes to start this contest. 3rd and 14. Cologne evades the pressure. Can't get away from the 2nd and 3rd line of defense. That's Abu Kamara, the junior all-conference player. Linebacker gets to the Tigers quarterback. 2 Bulldog sacks on the game's opening drive, and the Tigers have to punt.
Yeah, he might have gotten a half yard, so we'll see how they count it on the stat sheet. But regardless, it's exactly what Yale needed to force the punt on Princeton's first drive of the day, having received the opening kickoff.
They will give Abu Kamara credit for his 4th sack of the season. Ethan Clark's been the Ivy League's best punter. Should say Brady Clark, and he shanks this one. Not sure if that was partially blocked or not. Princeton kicked it away from the 46. They're going to spot this right around midfield. That is a 5-yard punt, and the Bulldogs will have fantastic field position when we get back to Powers Field. No score. No score as the Princeton drive that spanned nearly 7 minutes comes up empty. Yale will have great starting field position as we take a look at how these teams match up in Week 9. Yale, number 2 in the Ivy League in both scoring offense and scoring defense. And we talked about it earlier, that sack allowed number. Tack on a couple more to those numbers coming into the game on that opening drive for Princeton.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a storyline. You don't need to be an analyst in the booth to take a look at that stat line and see that something's off. But you're going to see a very impressive Yale offensive line here. Not only do they keep the quarterback clean, but they do a great job in terms of run blocking for Josh Pitzenberger, who can be an absolute game breaker. Princeton absolutely has to contain him and force Reno to go to the air.
We'll see if Grayson McGowan, the freshman first-year left tackle, plays today. He was banged up last week, so they brought in another freshman, True Kendrick. He finished the game at left tackle. Josh Pitzenberger, maybe the front runner for the Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year, and he's got some talent around him. Nico Brown, second in the Ivy League in receiving. Santiago having a great season as well. First Bulldogs drive, and after what officially went down as a 4-yard punt off the side of Brady Clark's foot, the Bulldogs will take over at midfield. First look at Dante Reno, the South Carolina transfer at quarterback, as Pitzenberger gets upended at the line of scrimmage. Defensive starters for the Tigers. It's a unit that's sort of been a game of musical chairs. Caden Wright questionable today, along with Robinson and Marcelino up front. Talented linebacking duo. Scarano fourth in the Ivy League in tackles. Chase Christopher sitting inside the top 10 as well. Second down and 9. They'll push up the middle. Gain of 4 by Pitzenberger, and it's third down.
Yeah, that second level of the defense is going to be absolutely key today with Chase Christopher and Marco Scarano with the Mike and Will linebacker positions. They are all over the field. You're going to see double-digit tackles from one of them, almost certainly, if not both of them, depending on the workload for Pitzenberger.
Third down snap. Reno going to the air, taking a shot downfield. Man open behind the defense. First down, Nico Brown inside the red zone. The Bulldogs convert on third down to move deep inside Princeton territory.
What a route by Nico Brown. What a delivery from Dante Reno. In stride, perfect strike for a huge first down. How about this for Nico Brown? Comes into the season with 0 career catches at Yale. Came into today with 47.
Officially 28 yards. That sets up the Bulldogs in this scoreless game. First and 10 at the 17. On the ground, expect a heavy dose of Josh Pitzenberger, who we showed you his number against the Tigers, averaging 133 yards per game over 3 career games. 7 total touchdowns, had 3 touchdowns on 28 carries 2 years ago. That was in a double overtime Yale victory here in Princeton. Last year, a season high 159 yards on the ground and 3 total touchdowns for the captain.
And Bob Surace talked about keys to the game this week. He talked about the red zone first and foremost. Yale is very efficient in the red zone. Princeton has struggled stopping offenses in the red zone. They need to stop Yale here, and Yale will go to the air.
Man open in the end zone, deflected, comes down, and it comes down in the arms of a Tiger. That's Torian Roberts. Reno threw it up. Yale had a shot at it, but Torian Roberts comes away with his 3rd pick of the season. We'll talk about Torian Roberts a lot today.
Torian Roberts, a cheerful player who's gone through a lot. And as you said, Cody, we'll tell that story throughout the day as he rings the turnover bell in a big spot. You talk about red zone stops. It's an emphatic one there as it gets tipped up in the air. First by the receiver, then by Roberts. Roberts follows it. What a job. Great athleticism, great concentration by Zero.
Can we talk about the hustle by Jermaine High, our camera op down on the field, to somehow beat the Princeton defense to position? First play of the ensuing drive, Princeton picks up a yard. That pass into the end zone, the intended target was the sophomore tight end Brady Wagner, who's got 5 catches, although just 1 in Ivy League play. Clark comes off the field at running back, and for the Tigers, it'll be Christian Lynch, number 20, the talented sophomore. Give to Lynch, who's seen an increased workload. We mentioned that he's been the Tigers' primary kick returner the past couple of weeks. Darion Murphy we saw in on third down. The senior back after missing the last 3 contests with an injury. Princeton likely still without Kai Honda.
Passing down here for Princeton. See if they try to find Josh Robinson. 86 lined up in the slot at the bottom of your screen.
Green, Robinson, and Besselman, the wideouts. Third down. Cologne gets hit, throws it up for Jackson Green. First down, Princeton. Dave, you mentioned the 2-sport star. Bob Surace raves about his body control, and we saw it there.
It's the concentration here. He knew where the ball was before the defense did, which allows him to get that body position, body control, and ultimately a huge first down.
Tacked 15 yards on the back end of the play, roughing the passer against the Ivy League sack leader Ezekiel Larry. And Princeton moving deeper into Yale territory as they move the chains.
Princeton has got to do a good job at protecting the quarterback. Kai Cologne got that off, but it was off the back foot again. Again, pressure on passing downs is exactly what Yale wants to have.
Charlie Rossi, the slot man, in motion. 1st and 10, handoff Lynch. Not able to get started. Good penetration. Micaiah Shaber, the senior out of Peachtree, Georgia. Look at how quick he moves for 6'6", 280 coming off the defensive line. Watch number 43.
Great lateral movement to get the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage. Lynch has not been able to get things going. Princeton ran the ball pretty effectively on their first possession, not so much on this one.
That's the 5th negative play over the first 14 for the orange and black today. Cologne designed rollout, bounces it at the feet of Robinson. We've talked about Josh Robinson heating up as the weather cools down. He had 2 catches the first 2 weeks. He's got 32 in 6 games since last week became the Tigers' all-time leader among freshmen in receptions and receiving yards.
And he kind of went from on the film like, oh, who's this freshman, to absolutely who the secondary needs to key in on. Yet to have a reception here today.
Bob Surace, when we asked him preseason about Josh Robinson, how do you describe him? Well, he's 18, but he's really 40. Just unprecedented maturity. Darion Murphy, first game back after missing nearly a month with an injury, makes the catch. Turns it into a 7-yard gain, but pays for it as he gets chopped down.
Abu Kamara, and you're going to hear that name a lot. The nickelback will play on that second level of the defense, and there he laid the boom.
Princeton this year, 52% on 4th down, 11 of 21, and they'll keep the offense out on 4th and 7 from the 33. Murphy in the backfield. Cologne will go to the air, 4-man rush, fires, man open, Besselman inside the 20, can't stay on his feet. Would have potentially been a Princeton touchdown, but it's a 4th down conversion. Kai Cologne to Aiden Besselman.
A great call there on 4th down when you've got to have it. A beautiful route to the far sideline. Tries to turn upfield and loses his footing. Otherwise, it would have been 6 for the Tigers, but nevertheless, a huge 1st down inside the red zone.
17 yards, Cologne to Besselman, who's got his 13th catch of the season. Junior from Pittsburgh. Handoff, and again, nothing doing on the ground. This Yale defense allowing just 111 yards or 108 yards per game on the ground. 2nd in the Ivy League behind Harvard, 12th nationally.
You talk about speed. I mean, north-south, Phoenix Grant absolutely storming downfield to make that stop.
Phoenix Grant, the reigning Ivy League Defensive Player of the Week. Did a little bit of everything last week in a victory on the road against Brown. 11 tackles, 3 for a loss. Had a sack, had his first career interception as the end around. It's Robinson for a short gain.
One thing you're going to see is it's really hard to turn the corner against this Yale defense. It's that lateral. We talked about north-south. Well, east-west, they've got speed as well. As you see here, a little trickery, the reverse to Josh Robinson, who's great in the open field. Only problem is that wasn't the open field because they closed the corner quickly.
I was about to talk about how well these linebackers move sideline to sideline. That was Dylan Yang, a 270-pound defensive end. Another 3rd down for the Tigers. Already the 6th 3rd down today here in the first quarter. 3rd down and 8, Cologne dancing, flushed. Looking downfield. And he's not able to get away from the aforementioned Dylan Yang. That's going to bring up 4th down as he picks up a yard.
And I don't think you get too greedy here. You already converted on 1 4th down. A manageable field goal distance here to try to take a 3-0 lead against the Bulldogs for Princeton.
A 29-yard attempt for the junior out of Davies High School in Fargo, North Dakota, Esteban Nunez Perez, in his first season handling kicking duties for the Tigers. Clark to hold. And the kick is good. So Princeton, after a pair of lengthy drives, cracks the goose egg. 3-0 Tigers on top. Late first quarter, senior day in front of a nice crowd in the Garden State.
These Bulldogs are the top dogs. Harvard, an overtime winner. Princeton into the round of 32. National NCAA Women's Rugby Championship in the Big Green of Dartmouth. It's over. That will do it. The Brown Bears and the Lions walk off. And Cornell will play on Championship Monday.
Someone once said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
Is that? Wow. It's gonna be okay.
Princeton coming into this one 3-5 on the season, 2-3 in the Ivy League, trying to get back on track after 3 straight losses. You never really know what the non-conference strength of schedule is going to be because they sign these contracts sometimes a decade out. Lafayette tied with 4th-ranked Lehigh atop the Patriot League. Mercer's already won a share of the SoCon, trying to finish in the top 10 nationally for the 2nd straight season. Harvard ranked 11th, but ranked a couple spots higher than that in the initial FCS playoff committee rankings. So this Princeton schedule, you don't want to make excuses for a 3-5 record, but really challenging non-conference schedule, and today a chance to play spoiler against Yale and then a rivalry game next week at Franklin Fields.
Yeah, and how great is it to see that Lehigh-Lafayette rivalry back with so much on the line in the Patriot League. Mercer coming to town was definitely a litmus test here for the Tigers.
The 29-yard field goal by Esteban Nunez-Perez. This one returnable. Joshua Tarver, the senior safety, with a head of steam. And again, Yale will start off with great field position on their 2nd drive of the contest.
Just a lot of speed from Yale. Shot out of the cannon seemingly everywhere. The skill positions on offense, clearly on defense as we talked about, and you see it there on special teams as we take a look at Dante Reno. He's throwing the ball at an impressive clip, coming in with a 66% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. And again, can't say enough about this offensive line. The big guys up front doing it all to keep him clean and keeping Josh Pitzenberger well ahead of pace. I said it in the open, but to have 300 or close to 300 more yards than the next leading rusher in the Ivy League, that's like 3 games worth.
Speaking of Pitzenberger, they'll run him right behind his right tackle, Michael Bennett, the senior 3rd-year starter. He's the anchor of the offensive line. And we were wondering whether Gray McGowan, the 1st-year starter at left tackle, would play today after he was banged up last week, and it looks like 73 is out there. They've been 3 or 4 bodies deep on the left side of the line at points this season. Gain of 3 on 1st down, and that'll be the final play here in the 1st quarter. The lone scoring a 29-yard field goal by Esteban Nunez-Perez. Week 9 action, historic rivalry. It's 3-0 Tigers. Defense, the story, a couple of early Bulldog sacks, but a Torian Roberts interception putting the Tigers offense in a good spot.
Welcome back. Kyle Brandt and Ross Tucker joining us here on the sidelines. Kyle and Ross, where do we start? Former teammates, former roommates, fraternity brothers. How does it feel to be back in Princeton?
Feels amazing, and we randomly both happen to be coming to today's game. We didn't plan this. I don't get very many weekends off. I'm just doing the Lions and Eagles tomorrow night on the radio, so I was able to come bring my daughters, which is really, really cool.
It feels great because we're beating Yale right now like we should be. I heard the turnover bell in the first quarter. I see 0 under Yale's score like it should be, and I think it'll continue to be. It feels awesome.
Senior day as well. Take us back to your senior day. What were the emotions like?
Good question. You know, senior day was great. I remember a lot, even our sophomore year. The stadium we're looking at right now, Princeton Stadium, when Ross and I were sophomores, it was the first year of it. And we had no stadium as a freshman. This sounds how old we are. They had leveled Palmer. The initial year of that whole year was we were standing here in this stadium for the first time. We beat Cornell 6-0. And then a couple of years later, our last game here, I thought we were both done. Ross decided to go to the NFL and play for Marty Schottenheimer, Bill Parcells, with Tom Brady. I was done. He wasn't.
That's what's so weird about the senior game for me, is for pretty much every other guy, they knew it was the last time they put a helmet and shoulder pads on. I didn't. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if I was going to make the NFL or not. So it was a weird emotion of not knowing if you were really done or not, but knowing all the other guys in that locker room were.
For sure. You're both in sports broadcasting and sports media. Take us through your path to where you are now.
Oh, gosh. You know my path is crazy. All right, so Ross went to the NFL after playing football. I went to MTV and did The Real World. You know, if you know The Real World, you know. Then I was in soap operas, then I worked in media, and then I started working for the NFL for Good Morning Football, which I've done for a decade. Ross is as crazy as yours was. Yours is much more normal than mine was.
Much more normal. Kyle was Philip Kyriakis still at my wedding. So he came to my wedding with a beard. My mom knew he was undercover in Afghanistan or something over there.
Storyline, yeah. The real ones out there know Philip Kyriakis, the man on Days of Our Lives in the early 2000s. Really small cross-section of fans, but that was our guys.
And I hurt my neck against the Ravens, and I knew my playing career was over. And the doctor said, you have a herniated disc in your neck, time to get a real job. And I decided, no, I don't want to get a real job. So now Kyle and I both get paid just to talk about football, which we might be the only two or very few Princeton grads get a chance to just talk about football for money.
Look, it doesn't get any better than that. I know you guys are foodies. You have a lot of great places in town. What are your favorites? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Well, so my daughters, actually, they were pushing for Hoagie Haven right at 10 a.m. when it opened. They just got ham and cheese or something very lame like that. I got a bacon, egg, and cheese omelet. It was 10 a.m. sub. It was amazing. Very proud of myself. I saved half. The other half is in a cooler for the drive home. So that's how I'm maintaining right now, Stephanie. I didn't eat the whole thing.
Very impressive, Kyle.
Ross is the guy who thinks Wilcox Dining Hall has a Michelin star, so he loves anything. I'm doing Winberries for dinner. All right, we're going to do PJ's Pancake House tomorrow morning. Still the best pancakes I've ever had in my life, and we're done.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. Have fun out there.
Having us. I know you're a Princeton girl, so welcome home. It's great to see you. And go Tigers. We're shutting them out, as we should be.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Ross. Guys, back to you.
Dante Reno dragged down by Chase Christopher going sideline to sideline. These guys are pretty good on air, aren't they?
Yeah, something tells me they know how to talk into a microphone. And I wonder if I ever served pancakes to Kyle Brandt, because I was a waiter at PJ's Pancake House in a previous life. So maybe we've crossed paths more than we think. But let's get back to the gridiron as Yale moves the ball past midfield. 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs.
Yale 5 plays on the opening drive before the Roberts interception, and they go right back in that direction. Roberts with another pick, puts the ball on the turf. This is going to be Princeton football, albeit a little bit further back than they had hoped, but Torian Roberts, the star here in the first half for the Tigers.
2 picks for number 0, and he's going to ring the bell again, and something tells me Kyle Brandt might help him do it. But what a first half for Torian Roberts, and definitely a pick. He made a complete catch. He made a football move before he fumbled it back to himself.
Dave alluded to it earlier. Stick around at halftime. We will take you through Torian Roberts' journey. Prior to last season, the spring before last season, spent nearly 2 weeks in the hospital. They were just hoping he would get back in the classroom. There was talks, does he need to take a year off? He comes back, he intercepts a pass in his Princeton debut. He's got 4 picks this season to now lead the Ivy League after 2 today. Just a remarkable story for the junior.
A great story, and we won't do it justice. The piece that the athletic department put together here does do it justice. But Torian Roberts is just tracking the ball extremely well today. Not the guy you want to pick on if you're Dante Reno.
3-0 Princeton after a low-scoring opening quarter. Ethan Clark, the starting running back, checks back in, picks up 2 on the second down carry. So the Bulldogs starting today just how the Tigers did last week. 2 drives, 2 interceptions. Dante Reno coming into this one had just 4 picks over the first 8 games.
And the picks are great, but Princeton has got to take advantage of getting these extra possessions, if you want to call it that. Just 3 points on the board against a team that's favored here today and is looking for a huge win to set up really a playoff game against Harvard next week. So you've got to put points off the board off these turnovers if you're Princeton.
Princeton 3 for 6 converting 3rd down. Time running out on Cologne again as he gets hit out of bounds, throws it away. 4th down coming up, and the Tigers will send Brady Clark on to punt it away for the 2nd time. Kai Cologne really just hasn't been able to get comfortable in the pocket.
He hasn't, and that's what makes Yale this year. I mean, they do not let quarterbacks get comfortable. They get after the quarterback. They keep them really out of their internal play clock. and Kai just hasn't been able to go through his progressions. A couple of great completions, but we're going to move from the left hash to the right hash as Brady Clark will get another hack at it after a disappointing punt on the first one.
Clark, whose first punt went for just 4 yards, came into the day 7th in the nation in leading the Ivy League in punt average, 45.7 yards. Yale's got Jackson Santiago standing back at the 25-yard line. Clark gets this one off cleanly, and it's a good one. Santiago lets it bounce. It'll take a Princeton hop down inside the 30, where the Tigers down it at the 28-yard line. 48 yards, no return. As we'll step away, the Bulldogs will try to get something going offensively when we get back to Powers Field.
We see the promises you make. Doing more than your fair share. Working twice as hard. Saving lives, changing lives. And your life's work deserves nothing less than a lifetime guarantee. You made a promise. So did we. TIAA's promise of a guaranteed retirement paycheck for life is a promise that pays off.
School spirit is to be proud of where you come from.
Camaraderie,
energy, family.
10 years ago, Graduate Hotels was founded on the idea that school spirit stays with you wherever you go. To celebrate, we brought together a marching band of students past and present who embody the true meaning of that spirit. Meeting for the first time in Princeton, New Jersey, the band shares their stories and reminds us that no matter where we come from or where we're going, we are all students.
I don't care what school you go to. The spirit never dies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What a fall it's been here in Princeton. Men's and women's cross country securing Ivy League titles. Field hockey, the Ivy League regular season champs playing for an Ivy tournament. They won the tournament as well, or the tournament champs. Women's soccer, regular season champions. Men's soccer, there's the regular season title. They'll play for the tournament championship tomorrow morning on ESPNU at 11 a.m. And last night, women's volleyball, Sabrina King's squad clinching at least a share of the Ivy title. With a win tonight against Dartmouth, they'll have the outright title and will host the tournament next weekend.
That's a lot of banners for the first half of the year.
Reno on the first play of the drive gives Pitzenberger, who the Tigers have done a good job keeping in check today. Pitzenberger, 7 carries, 22 yards.
Yeah, they've done a great job, and that's why there's a shutout thus far. I mean, Pitzenberger can change a game, and the game plan coming in is, I think, first and foremost, stopping number 7, and they've been able to do a good job of that. I say that with the caveat of he can score anytime he touches the ball, so can't just look at the pattern and assume that that'll remain the case.
Second down and 7. The Tigers tried to punch it free. Pitzenberger moving the bodies. On 2nd and 7, picks up 9, and it's a Bulldogs first down.
I know there's sideline to player communication. I don't think he has an earpiece, and I don't think he's listening to the broadcast, but that just shows the motor that Pitzenberger has right on cue. His ears must have been ringing and said, let me change my yards per carry average in a snap.
Pitzenberger right from the jump. 4 years ago, the Ivy League Rookie of the Year, beat out Princeton's Ryan Butler for that award. Last week at Brown, 173 yards. That's a career high. That was sparked by that 62-yard touchdown that we showed you when we first came on the air. That was the first play from scrimmage. Coming into this one, you talked about it, nearly 300 more rushing yards than anyone else in the Ivy League. He's third in the nation, or fifth in the nation in yards per game. From the 43-yard line, again up the middle, Pitzenberger, who's already got 10 carries through the Bulldogs' first 15 plays.
And an interesting spot. They're going to move it. Initially, they marked him a yard short, but he did look like he got to midfield, which is exactly where he needed to get to, and it'll be first down Bulldogs at that 50-yard line as they look to get on the scoreboard here for the first time in the first half.
It's interesting because these teams have historically played barn burners, some high-scoring games the past decade. Get into that as we go along. Give to Pitzenberger again, and he falls forward for a gain of 4 yards. 147th meeting. The Bulldogs have won 3 straight. The winning team, 10 of the last 11 years, the winning team has scored 30-plus points.
It just seems like a different game script here today. Both teams keeping it on the ground, and it's not due to weather. I mean, it's a beautiful day for football. It's a little chilly, but it should be in November. The wind is down. Just a little bit of a different game script for both teams thus far.
False start, number 58, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Leo Bloom, the senior center out of St. Paul, Minnesota, the guilty party.
Bloom not happy about it. He's pointing across the line of scrimmage, maybe saying he was brought. Oh, he definitely twitched. Couldn't see if a Princeton player moved first, but when it's the center, it's kind of on you, because if you move before the ball, that's going to be a problem.
That'll knock Yale back across midfield and bring up second down and 11. Quick slant, complete. Jackson Santiago with some yards after the catch inside the Princeton 30. Santiago, the sophomore from Bakersfield, a big target at 6'3", 215, working in traffic.
You love that play call, getting it out of the hands of Reno in a jiffy to Santiago, who's got a full head of steam, and just like that, a huge play as we have a Princeton player down on the field and we get a timeout.
Robert Sanders, the junior rush linebacker, will be tended to by the Princeton medical staff. Princeton's going to take a timeout, and we'll take it with them. We talked about the high-scoring affairs. This was last time these teams met in Princeton. Early fourth quarter, flea flicker, 75 yards. Blake Stenstrom to Luke Colella. That tied the score at 21. And after Josh Pitzenberger sent us to overtime, Pitzenberger would also have the game-winning score in overtime. And for the Tigers, bid to win it. Wande with the interception, or Wande with the pass to break up Wande Owens. And Yale with the double overtime victory here on Powers Field. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a fun one. And a low-scoring affair, as we just talked about here. Mid-second quarter, 3-0 Princeton.
All kinds of motion as flags come in right at the snap.
That left side moved early. I think it's so early they need to huddle up and say what just happened here.
Delay a game, clapping. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Bill McKeever, our referee today.
Yeah, so they're going to call the defense for clapping, and when the offense uses the clap as their snap count, they're basically saying the defense is trying to mimic that. So they'll call a delay of game on the defense as we take a look at Bob Surace, who is clearly not happy about it.
Busy day for this officiating crew.
False start, number 70, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So redo on the redo. And we're back to kind of where we started here.
1st and 10 from the 27 for Dante Reno and the Bulldogs. Told you Dante Reno, 4 interceptions in 8 games coming in, 2 interceptions in the first quarter. Princeton just 1 field goal to show for it as Pitzenberger tried to turn the corner, and you talk about guys playing tough on their senior day. That's Nasir Hill.
Nasir Hill, he was the last senior called out. They all walked out with their families prior to the game. Hill came out with his mother and grandmother, the captain, and that was a collision. You saw Pitzenberger turning the corner, and you knew somebody was going to get hit hard.
You want to know all you need to know about this Yale offense. They've run 18 plays. 12 of them have been to Pitzenberger on the ground. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Pitzenberger leaking out, and the throw just a little bit behind the senior running back.
And the pressure from Nasir Hill off the edge is the reason that wide open Pitzenberger was underthrown by Reno. Take a look here. Hill is untouched, which forces Reno to get rid of it a little early and off the back foot. Pitzenberger was wide open.
The numbers don't jump off the page for Nasir Hill, but you talk to Bob Surace, who's been around this program in some capacity for basically the last 4 decades, and he'll tell you Nasir Hill's going to go down as one of the best to ever play that position here. Quarterback hit pass over the middle. Santiago tackled a couple yards shy of the first down marker.
Good job by Reno of getting that ball off. It was Marco Scarano who got the QB hit on Reno and is going to force a field goal attempt here by Yale as they'll look to tie it up at 3. Neither team able to find the end zone, and that's the last thing I thought we would say with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
Noah Piper, the first-year place kicker out of Flower Mound, Texas. 10 of 12, leads the Ivy League in made field goals. Steps into this one, and the kick is good from 38 yards out. Midway point of the second quarter, we're all tied up at 3. Back to Powers Field after this. There have been 3 6-time Ivy Rookies of the Week, starting with Ian who graduated as the Crimson's all-time leading rusher. Chuck DeBillio, a 1,000-yard rusher as a freshman for the Tigers in 2011. And most recently, a Bulldog, Zane Dudek, who was never quite able to replicate what he did as a freshman, where he ran for 113 yards per game. Battled through some injuries, still finished his career with 2,500 rushing yards and 28 touchdowns. Josh Robinson for Princeton, a 5-time Ivy League Rookie of the Week with 2 weeks to go. And the Tigers, they've targeted him once. They've given him the football once on an end around, but you talked about it in the pregame. When the Tigers' offense has been rolling, it's been Josh Robinson, and they've got Robinson back to return kickoffs for the first time.
Yeah, he's multi-talented, multifaceted, a tremendous athlete, and don't let the size fool you. He can climb the ladder and make big catches, as Princeton will let this one go through the end of the end zone. But Josh Robinson has had a tremendous freshman year, and in the Ivy League, it's hard even to get on the field as a freshman. You know, preseasons are a little bit limited, or at least more now than they used to be, and it tends to be kind of a veteran-laden league, but Josh Robinson has burst onto the scene and then some.
Robinson, we talked about last week, setting the Tigers' freshman records for receptions and receiving yards. The player he passed, Matt Costello, who his freshman season in 2011, that's good company because Costello is the Tigers' 7th all-time leading receiver. Kai Cologne swallowed up again and dropped for a loss of 5 as the Bulldogs already have their 3rd team sack.
It's going to be really hard for Princeton receivers to get downfield today. Anything more than a 3-step drop and out of the hands, and Kai Cologne is going to be hearing and feeling footsteps, and rightfully so. He's not going to be seeing ghosts. They're going to be there, so it's going to have to be quick slants to get this passing game going.
Zarion Jackson-Bass with that last sack, his 4th of the season, as the Tigers give up the middle to Lynch, and he'll pick up 7 to get them back ahead of the Chains.
The last thing Princeton wants to do here, they're treading water here at 3-3. As you take a look at the run, a good lane there provided by the offensive line. But Princeton does not want to give Yale the ball back after this play with potentially good field position and over 5 minutes to go in the half.
It's been a bit of a rock fight here on Powers Field. Senior day for the Tigers. The Bulldogs trying to set up a winner-take-all Week 10 matchup against Harvard. Cologne fires over the middle looking for Robinson. Incomplete. Broken up by Brandon Webster, the junior cornerback. Banged up, limited to 3 games last year. This year he's got 30 tackles, has been a starter all season, and he'll force the Tigers punt team onto the field.
A good job by Webster. Yes, Josh Robinson has a step on the talented corner, but Webster's got the wingspan, coming in at 6 foot 195 against Josh Robinson, who's 5'7", 165. So he's able to make up for that step with the arm span and knock that one down.
Jackson Santiago camped out around the 23-yard line to receive the punt from Clark. And Clark not going to be roughing the kicker because they got a piece of the football. Princeton touches it up. Santiago picks it up and gets leveled. Lots to unpack on that one, Dave.
Yeah, a lot to unpack. One official was ready to throw the flag. The other confirmed that the ball was tipped. So we'll take a look here. Clark gets the ball. Yale, there's more white jerseys than black jerseys. Wasn't exactly clear there, but obviously the officials are a lot closer than both the camera and we are up in the booth. But then it takes a really good Princeton bounce, so much so it hits a Princeton player, which basically makes it a free pickup for Yale, and good IQ there to pick it up and get what you can.
That was Phoenix Grant, the reigning Ivy Defensive Player of the Week, getting his hands on the football. Deep strike downfield, one man to beat. It's Roberts, and it's deep inside Princeton territory. Nico Brown tackled inside the Princeton 10. They're going to mark him down at the 9. That's 57 yards and the longest play of the day for the Bulldogs.
And it almost feels like he shouldn't be able to get that far downfield that fast, but he does. And just gets behind the Princeton defense, and just like that, a strike. And Yale, I mean, on the 9-yard line with 4:49 to go, in a great position to take a big lead here.
First and goal from the 9 for the Bulldogs, who are down 3-0 early. Here's a give, running right, diving for the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Billy Dow, the senior running back out of the Taft School, with his 3rd touchdown of the season. And Dow's first touch of the afternoon gives the Bulldogs their first lead here in Princeton.
Princeton defense had played a lot of bend, don't break, or bend and then get a big interception. That time it's 2 plays and 6 points for the Yale Bulldogs. And you feel like that type of 2-play succession could change the rhythm of this game, and the momentum surely swings in favor of the visiting Bulldogs after that impressive strike.
They're going to take another look at this. They generally review all scoring plays, and I think they're looking to make sure that the ball crossed the plane.
It looked like from here that he fell on his back, but the ball was over the goal line. We'll take another look here from an end zone view. And a nice job of picking a lane, and I don't see anything that's going to overturn that one. This will be a good look here. It's close. I think
call on the field was a touchdown.
Yeah, let's take a look at the elbow. It's going to be really hard.
That's going to be short.
It could be short, or I could say it's going to be really hard to say that the point of the football hadn't broken that first grain of white turf.
If the call stands, it'll be 9-3 Bulldogs pending the extra point.
And if it is short, you think Yale is still in a great position on the 1-inch line.
After further review, the runner's forearm was down inbounds prior to crossing the goal line. It'll be 2nd down just inside the 1-yard line.
It's an interesting explanation because the arm being down prior to the goal line shouldn't matter. It's where the ball is. So you can have the ball over the goal line and your elbow outside, but I think bottom line reading through that is they think the ball was short as well. But where is this ball spotted? That looks, it should be closer to the goal line.
Billy Dow still in the ball game. They give to the senior. Tigers get the initial penetration and they knock him back. No gain on the play. Princeton's defense fired up. And now the Bulldogs 3rd and goal inside the 1.
Take a look here. Good push. The second effort, I thought he might get in, but that one is clearly not across the goal line. So a great push inside by the Princeton defense, setting up a huge 3rd down. And you think this is 4-down territory with under 4 minutes to go. You want to get a touchdown or you leave Princeton with a 99-yard field.
Man in motion. It's a design keeper. Reno plunging towards the goal line, and he's in for the Bulldogs touchdown. Or do they give it to Pitzenberger? And that was Pitzenberger. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Yeah, Reno not on the field. It's a direct snap to the Ivy League's leading rusher.
Piper's extra point is good, and it's 10-3 Bulldogs here late in the first half.
A huge touchdown. Thought they had 6 a couple plays ago. They eventually get it, and it's Josh Pitzenberger. Came into the game with 11 touchdowns. That'll be his 12th on the season. Leading the Ivy League in both rushing yards and touchdowns coming into today's game. The other noon showdown that has a lot of implications is Penn and Harvard. And we'll be keeping an eye on that one as Harvard and Yale both look to keep pace to set up a huge matchup next week.
Harvard comes in one of 5 remaining undefeated teams in the FCS. So they're 8-0. They're 5-0 in the Ivy League. So with the win today for Harvard, they would be assured at least a share of the Ivy title. In previous years, that's what you're playing for, right? You want the share of the Ivy title. This year, I'm curious if teams end up tied, but you don't have the tiebreaker and you don't go to the postseason, how much are you going to celebrate that? If you're Harvard and Yale and it comes down to Harvard-Yale, the game week 10, loser of that, even if they can claim a share of the Ivy title, probably not going to be too happy.
Listen, in the Ivy League before this year, next week is the end of the season, and they're making a lot of rings because there seems to be a logjam at the top of the league. But this year, yeah, you can have a share of the Ivy title, but the fact that you can go to the dance, if you're not dancing, it's going to feel a lot different.
Harvard down by a touchdown against Penn. They were also a noon kickoff, so they are late in the second quarter, just like we are here. Princeton will try to counter.
Plenty of time to do so.
Rossi in motion, Clark in the backfield. 6 in the box for the Bulldogs. The give to Ethan Clark. Gain of 3.
And talking about enough time, there's definitely enough time to kind of play your game, meaning you can run the ball, you can have that perfect mix of run and pass. There's no need to just go 5 wide and start chucking it down the field with 3:30 to go.
Empty backfield on 2nd and 7 for Kai Cologne. Four-man rush. Cologne fires, complete. Joey Wassler, the tight end, as we hit the 3-minute mark.
Wassler down. Take a look here. Good protection by the offensive line. Wassler sits in open space. Cologne hits him and is able to get a couple yards after the catch, but still down on the field.
Tight end, a spot that Princeton, maybe the spot they're most thin at. Jack Camo got injured on the first play of the season in the opener against San Diego. We haven't seen him since. Princeton has had a couple of true freshmen out there. We haven't seen Charlie Kalutis in a couple of weeks. And if Wassler goes down, the backup tight end becomes one of the backup offensive linemen, Justice Musser, who we saw on the sideline wearing number 41 as a backup tight end. Talked to Justice earlier this week, and he mentioned it was a little emotional last week dressing as a tight end because it was the first time since maybe middle school he didn't have to put the knee braces on.
Yeah, and for Musser, going to the offensive line is a natural place to fill in a thin position at tight end, because if you do want to come out in 22 personnel, meaning 2 tight ends and 2 backs, you have somebody that can run block, and that's gigantic, right? So we will see Musser come in as you see him on the field now. And Cody, you talked to him earlier this week, and he said one of the biggest differences is not only wearing the 41 number, but not wearing knee braces for the first time maybe since middle school.
2.5 minutes to go, first half. Handoff Ethan Clark trying to go right up the middle, picks up maybe a yard on the first down carry.
And you see if Princeton wants to get another playoff before the 2-minute timeout on 2nd and 8. Remember, ball security, if you're Princeton, incredibly important with a very opportunistic Yale team that we just saw can score in a hurry. 5 seconds till the 2-minute timeout.
Remember, Yale will get the football to open the second half. Princeton will snap it. Cologne looking left for Robinson. Throw came just a little bit late. Josh Tarver met him there. Princeton may be looking for the flag, but they're going to say it's a clean play by the senior safety. And that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout.
Yep, bang, bang play there. Princeton 3rd and 8, down by a touchdown here on Senior Day.
Princeton had a 3-0 lead, but 10 consecutive points by the Bulldogs, and now the Tigers looking to counter, but facing another third down. Princeton just 3 for 8 converting third down today. Cologne empties the backfield with Clark, and now he'll settle back in off his left hip.
Potential single coverage against Jackson Green, who now goes closer to the line of scrimmage at the bottom of your screen.
On third down, clean pocket. There's Robinson, makes the catch, reaching back, gets across midfield, and has the first down. Josh Robinson's a cheat code.
He is. How about the concentration, the one-handed behind him catch with the left hand. Now, a lot of crossing in the middle of the field, and the offense will call it a rub route. The defense will call it an illegal pick. But it does get Josh Robinson open. They might have missed a call there in the middle of the field.
Robinson off to the sideline. First down and 10. Cologne looking right, had to go a long way, and that one nearly intercepted. Abu Kamara, the All-American last year. Another play that ball has to go a long way, and Kamara just had a lot of time to make the play.
It does, and when it takes the quarterback that long to throw the ball, you lose the advantage that a receiver naturally has in knowing where they're going and the defense not. And the defense can really get their bearings and then break on the ball. We've seen it twice in a couple plays here.
Second down and 10 for the Tigers. Bulldogs rush 4. Cologne sees the seams part. He's going to cut it back, get the first down, and get hit hard at the 31.
And now Princeton's going to have to hurry up here a bit. Clock stops as they reset the chains, but 1:35 to go here. And Princeton's got to have their eyes on a touchdown first and foremost here to try to tie this game, knowing the Bulldogs get the ball out of the break.
Robinson, Besselman, and Green, the 3 wideouts. Clark in the backfield. Weiner in at tight end. Give to Ethan Clark. If you're Princeton, right, you want to move because you want to score. You also want to make sure that you don't leave time for Yale.
Yeah, I think it's normally a concern. I think at this part of the field, you score right now and you're happy about it. And this is 25 seconds here.
Second down and 7. Cologne gets lit up, single coverage, and it's batted away from Robinson by Tarver. Great coverage by the senior safety from Richmond, Texas, to bring up third down.
Tarver's doing a tremendous job today. Said his name a couple times here in the first half. And that ball hangs up there way too long to expect the defense not to catch up to Josh Robinson, but a lot of time came off the clock there on that play. Just 45 seconds left here. Third down.
Clock stopped after the incompletion. Third down and 7 for the Tigers.
Yale not pressing up on Robinson. An opportunity for maybe a quick hit to him.
Cologne's going to run. Trying to drag the defense near the first down marker, and it'll depend on the spot. The initial placement has him just short. Princeton has not taken a timeout. And now a couple of Bulldogs slow to get up.
Take a look here.
He had to get to the 19.
Cologne's done a nice job in, his decision-making of when to tuck and run. But it is going to be short. And again, 6 seconds kind of ran off the clock between the ball being called down and the timeout being called.
You've seen it this season where Princeton maybe it's the injuries and a lot of young personnel, it just takes them a little longer than you would like in these situations to get on the same page and really feel comfortable.
It does. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. Even when we were calling starting lineups today, Cody, how many times did we say, questionable, right? And when you talk questionable, especially on an offensive and defensive line, that spans more than an individual position. It spans across chemistry and communication and all the things that go into 11 guys playing together as one unit.
Fourth down and 1, and now Yale will take a timeout.
So a huge down here, needless to say. 4th and 1. on the 20-yard line. Princeton would love to close the half with a touchdown. Again, Yale gets the ball out of halftime. And Yale found their rhythm on that last two-play scoring drive where they made it look easy. Princeton defense, for the most part, has played a tremendous game thus far against a talented offense, and they really kept Josh Pitzenberger in check. Yes, he has a touchdown, but from, the half-yard line. So for Kai Cologne here, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a design quarterback draw to try to get the first down. He can run the ball, as we've seen here today.
Cologne out of the shotgun. Clark in the backfield. Keener in motion. Give to Clark. First down, Princeton. See if the Tigers take a timeout. They've got one remaining.
They're going to get to the line knowing that the clock stops as they reset the chains.
And they'll clock it. So 2 seconds run off. Princeton keeps their final timeout.
We'll take another look at the replay. Ethan Clark in between the tackles, and he just keeps the feet moving. Nothing was denying him from that huge first down as Princeton takes it from the 15-yard line, 22 seconds to go.
Running behind the senior center, Scott Becker to move the chains. On second down, Cologne dancing. He's going to take off and run. Gets upended across the 10, and now the Tigers are going to have to take their final timeout. 3 or 4 more seconds run off the clock.
And now it's so 30-second timeout, but a lot to consider here, Cody. I mean, you're really looking at 2 shots to the end zone, but Princeton has not gotten the ball out of Cologne's hands quickly, right? All the pass plays have been pretty deliberate with him going through his progressions in the pocket. That can't happen here. They've got to be decisive. And then also a Yale sack ends the half. And they have had a great record of getting to Kai Cologne here today, as Cologne has been forced and flushed out of the pocket over and over by the pressure that the Yale front provides. So this is a huge play. And again, if you're Yale, you're thinking, do you bring the pressure, try to get the sack, and go into halftime with a 7-point lead knowing you're getting the ball? Worst case scenario is Princeton gets no points here.
3rd down and 5 from the 10. Princeton out of timeouts. Yale doesn't rush. Cologne steps up right into the defense, and that's going to end the half. That is, if you're the Tigers, the one thing you couldn't do.
You throw it out of the back of the end zone. It's got to be 3 seconds, and if nothing's there, it sails out of the back of the end zone, because now Yale is literally dancing into the locker room up 7.
Huge game for the Bulldogs. Princeton jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and then the wind just came out of the sails on that last drive. And if you're the Tigers, you've got to hope your senior captain, your senior quarterback, Kai Cologne, is okay, as he got hit hard.
He's had to do so much mentally dealing with this pressure, and you can just see that it's been a lot. That's a tough first half, but Princeton, all things considered, down a touchdown. And if you're Yale, what a way to close out with a huge sack to keep Princeton off the board on that last drive and take a 7-point lead into halftime in a game you've got to have with playoff implications on the line.
10 of the last 11 times Princeton and Yale have tangled, the winning team has put up 30-plus points. It's been a rock fight today. 10-3 Bulldogs lead at the half. Emotion riding high on senior day here in Princeton. And it's a 7-point Bulldog lead heading into halftime.
Torian was pretty much a force before he was even born. He was born on Super Bowl Sunday, so he was bound for this.
He grew up in a great neighborhood, so to make sure that we were like, you're good, you suburban good, but are you really good? I went and took him to play for Edgerrin James, the running back, and he became their starting running back. Into high school, kind of the same thing. He was first team All-State for the state of Florida at the highest division. Torian just kind of took off from there.
When he was a senior in high school, he had a great year, a terrific year in offense and defense. I was a little nervous as a DB coach because I wanted him as a defensive back.
He could run, he's athletic, he's a leader, he's smart, he's instinctive, he loves football. Everything you're looking for in a Tiger he had.
Are you ever not smiling?
Not really. Something about football just gets me juiced up, and I'm a happy guy, man. I'm always.
Torian was recruited by a lot of Power Fours, from the Ohio States to the Vanderbilts. Some of them said, oh, he's a little shorter than we thought he would be. At that time, Coach Henderson gave us a call here. He said, Torian is a special player. If he come on this campus, we're gonna offer him. And I said, all right, Coach. We brought him up here. We absolutely fell in love with the university. Then we just kind of gave each other the eye, and I guess, as you say, the rest is history.
Actually, the start of that day, I actually didn't feel well. I just couldn't eat. I didn't really feel it. From that point, I was just like, okay, maybe it's just one of those days. Just took a nap, get ready for practice. I got to practice. Once we got to sprints, that's when I started feeling a little lightheaded. I still finished the sprints, I just kept going, but I was getting more and more lightheaded. We came together to break down, and I couldn't even really get up with my team. I was bent over trying to figure out what was really going on, because my head was just starting to feel a lot worse. So I got inside, I got to my locker, my head just started feeling worse. They tried to give me some fruit snacks, some water, and from there it was like the worst migraine I've ever had. It was actually Dave who came up to me. It was like, I think you need to go to the hospital, because if it was up to me, I would have just slept it off. Maybe the next day it would have been a lot better.
That was probably one of the hardest things that I think I've ever gone through. I was sitting on my laptop in my room. He picks up the phone, and then he said, so how bad is it? And so immediately my ears perk up. The next thing I know, he's like, Ursula, no. He said it's Torian.
I saw Torian, he was holding his head a little bit, so I went over there just to go check on him and asked if he was good. And he said he was feeling a little dizzy. When something's not going his way, or if he's not feeling good, he usually pushes through it, as you can see on the field. I was really confused and concerned, because usually that's not the case with him.
I get a text from our performance staff, and they weren't sure what it is, but they were taking Torian to the Princeton Medical Center and thought it might be dehydration. And things like that happen. The next call, really, it was pretty rare that they're going to airlift him to Penn Medical Center.
They put me on the stretcher. I wanted to go to sleep, but they kind of told me to stay up because they didn't know what was wrong with my head. I don't remember anything from that ride. Once we got to Penn, my head, it just got way worse. They called my parents, and then they told me my parents were on the phone. I spoke with them. My dad just kind of asked. He said, are you all right? And I just, for the first time, really just told him, honestly, no, I'm not okay.
And just then my heart fell, because Torian has never told me he wasn't okay in his life. So that scared me to death. Torian gave the phone away to Coach Hicks. He said, Mr. Roberts, I just want to inform you guys that we had to airlift him from Princeton Hospital to Penn Hospital. And as he's telling me this, I hear Torian in the background wincing in pain. You can just hear it.
He very rarely ever complains about any pain. So that's where my heart just dropped, because it's like my baby he's in pain right now.
He said they think it's a brain aneurysm. I said, a what? I just told Hicks, I said, do whatever you need to do to make sure this kid is good.
Initially, I was told I was have to be there for a minimum of 14 days, bed rest, no movement. Could be a month. They didn't really have an answer for me.
This all happened the day before his birthday. So when I got there, I said, hey man, if you want to see us for your birthday, hey, you could have just asked us, right?
So the first few days was the hardest. They had to do several procedures basically to see where the bleeding was coming from. They said there was blood under his brain, and they didn't know where it was coming from.
Torian was up here 11 days. During that time, every single day, A Princeton coach came to visit him. Academic advisors were on the phone, and our family, they came through. They were sending donations to us because they know we was going to be here. We have to eat, we have to do this. But Princeton, on the other hand, said, you know what, you guys don't have to worry about anything. Anything you need, let us know. We got you. That was beautiful. It really made us know this is truly a family.
You know, we spent a lot of time for the next bunch of weeks in the hospital with them. You know, it's like every day you're asleep or trying to sleep, but you're sitting on a couch in a hospital, not knowing if he's going to survive before his parents get there. You know, in Torian's mind, he just wanted to get back to school. Like, he was not taking the semester off, and about a month later, he returned.
Well, the fact is, and they know who I am, I just kept telling them, we don't care about football from this point forward. All we care about is you being healthy. And I said, honestly, once you take a year off, right? I said, take a year off and just make sure you're complete. Dad, the doctors are telling me I'm fully healed, I'm good to go.
I always brought it up to my parents, like, oh, I think I'm fine. I think once I have my last checkup in May, I think I'm gonna be fine to go back. At one point, it did seem like it just wasn't gonna be for me to play in the next season. I would have to wait a year. Those conversations were tough, but once I got the okay in May or June leading into the season, it was like just training to make sure I can get in the best shape I can to be on the field. Once I came back, I wanted to be like I never left.
I was so nervous. I was excited and nervous all at the same time. I think I prayed through the entire first game.
When he got that first interception, I'm telling you, I was watching it in my garage. And I think at one point I ran probably half a block out of there yelling. I said, he got one, he got one.
Play action, they lay it out, and it's intercepted by the Tigers. Torian Roberts has his first career interception.
I remember just reading the play, reading the routes, and this might have been the slowest I ever see a ball come to me. And all I knew was just catch this ball.
Yeah, it was the Lehigh game's the opener, and he's running down the sideline with a pick. Football's an emotional sport, and it was a different emotion.
Every time you put Torian on the field, he kept making more plays and more plays and more plays, and it got to the point where the more he's on the field, the more things happen in our favor.
In the end, they told me it was a brain hemorrhage, which is just another name for like bleeding on the brain. But initially, they weren't sure if it was a brain aneurysm.
We believe that it was actually a miracle what happened, because they really, till to this day, don't know what caused it or where it came from. He has grown, especially in the past couple of years, so much. I feel very proud of him. I am very proud of the man that he's becoming.
You can't write a better story. Can't write a better story.
You got loose. Come on, we gotta bring him home. Get up alongside him. Get ready. Here it comes. Yeah, turn him now.
Someone once said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
School spirit is to be proud of where you come from.
Camaraderie,
energy, family.
10 years ago, Graduate Hotels was founded on the idea that school spirit stays with you wherever you go. To celebrate, we brought together a marching band of students past and present who embody the true meaning of that spirit. Meeting for the first time in Princeton, New Jersey, the band shares their stories and reminds us that no matter where we come from or where we're going, we are all students.
I don't care what school you go to, the spirit never dies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers, For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long-distance love. For the far-sighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Halftime here in Princeton as we take a look around the Ivy League. The big contest today, Harvard at home against Penn. The Crimson, one of 5 remaining undefeated teams at the FCS level. Down by a touchdown against Penn at home on their senior day. Just underway in Hanover into the first quarter. Dartmouth with an early Owen Zalk field goal. And Brown and Columbia, 2 teams entering the day winless in Ivy League play. Brown with a 1-score lead at the half. Dave, we've talked at length about the significance of that Penn-Harvard game.
It's gigantic. Harvard at 8-0, undefeated in Ivy League play. And really, you know, although they've dropped in the national rankings, it's not for lack of winning, right? Undefeated. But if Penn pulls off that upset and Yale is able to outlast Princeton today, I mean, that's a game that has huge implications. I mean, not just at the FCS level, but you're going to see a lot of coverage of that one.
Scoreboard watching here today as we get set to step away when we get back. Stats and highlights at halftime here at Powers Field. It's the Bulldogs 10 and the Tigers 3. We'll be back to Princeton after this. A low-scoring affair here in Princeton as Yale leads on the road on the Tigers senior day 10-3 at halftime as we welcome you back to Powers Field. Let's take a look at our first half highlights presented by Graduate Princeton.
Yeah, it was a low-scoring affair early in this one, and really still is. Torian Roberts with 2 big interceptions. That one when Yale was right on the doorstep looking to break this one open, and then again in the open field, completes the catch, fumbles it to himself, so loses a little bit of yardage, but nevertheless rings the turnover bell twice in that first half. Josh Pitzenberger, he's been held in check for the most part, all things considered, given how he came in as the league's leading rusher, but when Yale needed it most, he got big first downs, and their only touchdown of the day from a yard out. And for Princeton's offense, the story's been Yale's defense, the pressure. They're flushing Kai Cologne out of the pocket, keeping him from going through his progressions. They have a lot of sacks. They came in with a lot of sacks. They're just adding to that sum today, and it's really keeping Kai Cologne uncomfortable. The biggest sack caused that clock really to run out at the end of the first half when Princeton could have at least gotten a field goal to chip away at this 7-point lead, and Yale gets the ball coming out of the half.
You mentioned Pitzenberger, relatively speaking, held in check, and that tells you all you need to know about number 7 for the Bulldogs. He's only on pace for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. As we take a look at the halftime stats presented by Ironworkers Local 399, local skilled craftsmen who are building Princeton's future.
Yeah, you know, Princeton's defense played very well in that first half, but the Yale defense has been tremendous as advertised. You know, penalties pretty even, a lot of those stats pretty even, but you just feel like, yes, Josh Pitzenberger still on pace for 100 yards, but coming in, you know, at almost 1,000 yards, he eclipses that in the first half, and you feel like he could break out, and you did see Dante Reno and company 2 plays to pay dirt. You know, Princeton is really treading water here. They've got to get it under control, and the toughest part is it's really hard to just start protecting your quarterback. There's a mismatch there, and they've got to design plays to get it out of Kai Cologne's hands quickly.
If you're the Bulldogs, part of your game plan most likely, keep Josh Robinson in check. 1 catch for 10 yards on 5 targets. Check that box. Make Kai Cologne, the senior quarterback, uncomfortable. He had 5 completions and was sacked 4 times. Really never got to sit in a clean pocket and plant.
No, and again, it's not that he's just hearing footsteps. They're getting to him. He's done a nice job with his feet of escaping the pocket, but they've got to get the passing game going, and it's going to be really hard to get down the field when the pressure's coming that quickly.
Joshua Tarver lets it bounce out of the back of the end zone, and the Bulldogs will bring the offense out to start the second half. All kind of flags come in front of the Princeton sideline, and the Tigers fired up. Not sure exactly what happened after the play.
Feels like it's in the area of unsportsmanlike conduct, just when and where the play happened. But we'll get the official call here after this referee huddle.
2 of the least penalized teams in the FCS. We had just 5 combined penalties in that first half.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 50, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal from the touchback spot. It'd be 1st and 10.
It's Jesse Schutzman, a reserve linebacker. Watch number 50.
Take a look here. Oh, finishes off something that was already finished, and that's going to be a flag every single time. And that's just keeping your emotions and energy in check there.
So Yale will start with their worst starting field position of the afternoon, back at their own 13-yard line, and after the Bulldogs fell behind 3-0 out of the gate, 10 consecutive points to close out the first half. Heavy dose of Josh Pitzenberger continues, the senior with 13 touches for 49 yards and a score in the first half. Pitzenberger, we told you coming into the day, leading the Ivy League in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. Nearly 300 yards more than Dartmouth's DJ Cruther, also 5th in the nation in yards per game. Picked up 2 on the first play of the second half, 2nd down and 8. Overcast skies, 52 degrees here in Princeton. Reno surveys. Nothing opens up downfield, so he'll tiptoe out of bounds and turn it into a 3-yard gain and set up 3rd down and manageable.
Big third down for both teams here. Yale wants to make the most of this possession, already up a score, getting the ball out of the half. This time Reno flushed out of the pocket. He takes what he can get and smartly gets out of bounds. And for the Princeton defense to get Yale off the field early would be huge as they try to mount, a comeback, and within a score, obviously very doable.
Dante Reno, the sophomore quarterback, the transfer from the University of South Carolina. Third down and 3, looks left, looks right. Nothing comes open, and he gets dropped in the backfield by Robert Sanders. Good to see Sanders get some penetration. He had to be helped off the field after leaving with an injury in the first half.
Yeah, the 6'2", 245 junior gets there, and you could tell right away there was good coverage downfield because Reno, look, his head's moving. His head's moving. Where do I go? Where do I go? So almost a coverage sack there because he couldn't get rid of it.
Josh Robinson camped out of the Princeton 40. First look at Reese Keeney, the reigning Ivy League Special Teams Player of the Week, who just gets it away. Casey Etienne Jr. nearly got to the football. It takes a Princeton hop and kicks out of bounds at the 44-yard line. 42-yard punt, no return, as the Tigers will send the offense back out onto the field looking for their first touchdown.
We'll see if they make any adjustments here, because adjustments need to be made. Kai Colon is holding the ball far too long for the powerful pass rush, from the Yale Bulldogs. So it's got to be 1 to 3 step drops and out and change the rhythm offensively.
Kai Colon last week a career-high 29 completions in that 3-point loss on the road at Dartmouth as he gives to Ethan Clark. And the junior has a nice first down gain. Kai Colon today 5 of 11 for 74 yards and those 4 sacks in the first half.
Yeah, a couple big strikes, but one way to change the pace is to get back to the ground game. Ethan Clark got them going early in the first quarter and was able to not only manage clock, but manage really the possession for the Tigers and get some big first downs.
Let's see if they open it up on second down and short. They go back to Clark, and that'll reset the downs. First down run, Ethan Clark, who's now got 14 carries for 69 yards. That's better than 5 yards per touch.
Yeah, great job by 21 thus far. So we take another look. Just the give and gets just enough as Princeton goes from the 45-yard line.
Fresh set of downs for Kai Colon and the Tigers. Bunch receivers right now. Robinson dances back the other way. Long look at the near sideline. We mentioned Joey Wassler still out with an injury, so Justice Musser, the offensive lineman, in at tight end. Running left, and nothing doing. Picked up maybe a yard on the first down run. If you're Princeton, the top 3 on your tight end depth chart, no Joey Wassler, no Jack Camo, no Charlie Kaludis. Asher Weiner is dressed, but we haven't seen the converted quarterback turn tight end. Backfield empty on second down and 9. Bubble screen left side. They get it to Robinson with some space. And on second and 9, he picks up 8 to set up another third down and short. Trying to manufacture ways to get it into the hands of 86.
Great play design, right? No time for the pass rush to get there, and you get it to your most talented ball carrier from a receiver standpoint, and that's Josh Robinson. Did his knees touch? I'm sure one of them did there.
That is a question you have to ask with him.
He's done it before.
Showed you in the open that end around 27 yards for the Tigers' opening score against Cornell 2 weeks ago. Top 10 play on SportsCenter. Ethan Clark moves the chains, so Princeton a methodical drive here on their first possession in the second half.
The perfect word to describe it. Hard-nosed football, sticking with the run. Nice screen to Robinson. Good mix and match of quick plays, which really eliminates the threat of a pass rush.
First down and 10 from the 32. Colon going way back. There's the Ivy League sack leader coming off the left side. Ezekiel Larry with his 9th sack of the season.
3, 4, 5. It doesn't take long. It's got to be 3 seconds, and the ball's got to be out.
Asher Weiner is going to come in as a tight end, so right on cue. Loss of 12, 2nd down and 22, knocks him back to the 44. 4-man rush, Cologne. There it is, in and out of the hand to Robinson. Had a stream to get him back near the original line of scrimmage.
Yep, so it'll be 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12 for the Tigers here. And a quick route gets Robinson close to that original line of scrimmage.
Third down and 12 of the Bulldog 34 in a one-score game. They rush 4, firing way behind Lorio. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication as that one's deflected. And it's incomplete, looking for the junior out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. No man's land for the Tigers, so the offense will stay out on the field on 4th and 12 from the 34.
And who else? Ezekiel Larry with the deflection. If he's not going to get in the backfield, he's going to get his hands up and make an impact.
We asked Bob Serace about the defense, and in a lineup studded with all-conference players, the first name he mentioned was Ezekiel Larry. See if Princeton maybe tries to pooch this away on 4th and 12. Cologne has time, nothing comes open. He's going to launch it up into the end zone with a flag down, incomplete for Besselman.
Well, Josh Robinson lost a shoe, and the Yale coaching staff doesn't look happy. Something tells me Robinson was tripped up, maybe incidentally, and we may get a downfield holding or pass interference.
Who throws a shoe?
Who throws a shoe?
Holding, number 24, defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Maddock, yeah.
It's a Numadou Ayo DeRozier, the senior linebacker.
And Numadou, one of the best in the Ivy League. 84 tackles coming into this game.
84 tackles, 17 more than anyone else. That's 9th best in the nation. He's having a tremendous senior season. Sean McGowan, their head coach of defense, called him the smartest player he's ever coached. Fresh set of downs. Darion Murphy with his first carry in nearly a month. He's been banged up. We've talked about the offensive line and how, they've graduated a lot of really good offensive linemen. We'll talk to one of their NFL tackles, Jalen Travis, later in the contest, but Cooper Coors steps in. He's been in and out of the lineup. We talked about how they're banged up at tight end, banged up at running back, and yes, that does put more of the workload on Clark. Where it's really noticeable is in pass protection. Here's a carry on 2nd down and 8. Chance Arthur, freshman running back, first career carry, first career offensive snap.
And a good gain at that one. 3rd and short for the Tigers. And again, probably 4-down territory, down a touchdown. So you could keep it on the ground here as they bring in Darion Murphy again.
Third down and 3 from the 17 with Besselman in motion. Here's Murphy. Needed 3, picked up 2, and it's going to be 4th down and short.
Saying
ball
they
pops
have the
loose.
ball.
Bulldogs say they have it. The officials will sort it out, and it's a Yale takeaway. Kamara on the Bulldogs defense fired up as they strip the Tigers deep in Yale territory.
We'll take another look as we head to break. The call on the field is a fumble. Murphy bounces it to the outside, and it's tough to tell on that one, but the call on the field, the Bulldogs take over, and twice the Tigers have been stymied as they look to score. We'll be back.
Being at an Ivy League school, it certainly is more than possible to be both an exceptional student as well as excel in the sport that you choose to pursue.
I get to sit in a classroom with wrestlers who go compete at a national level, hockey players who are making it to championships. To watch them succeed, at a national level, it's pretty incredible.
I don't think I would be where I'm at if I went anywhere else.
It's been really fun for me to just challenge myself and like make it to those events and perform and show people that like Princeton is a good golf school and you can come here and have all your dreams come true.
Very fulfilling, very rewarding. I feel like you're at a world-class level in multiple fields.
All these schools have been around for a while. Just kind of getting to see Ivy League put it on a national stage is just very, very cool to me.
But now I think people are paying a lot more attention to what the Ivy League is capable of and putting some more respect on the league.
There's been a lot of success in the Ivy League, and the Ivy League is going to be on the big stage more and more often, and I'm excited for that.
Final home game of the season for Princeton also means senior day. 28 players honored on the field pregame. Always an emotional day. Natalie talked about Bob Serace kind of navigating the emotion of senior day pregame. And this is a class, you remember, when they were going through high school, their junior years, COVID hit, seasons canceled, players that have all gone through a lot to get here.
And for the majority of these players, you know, not only the last time they're playing here at home, but maybe the last 2 times they're ever throwing on the pads in a competitive football game.
That's the thing about football, right? Basketball, you graduate, you can always go to LA Fitness and play after work. You know, if you play tennis, if you play golf, you can do that for a long time. There's pickup hockey leagues.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
There's no tackle football leagues once your career ends.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl is usually more pulled hamstrings than fun.
Especially at this point in your career?
That's correct. I retired even from that.
Princeton had 2 first-half takeaways, and the Bulldogs defense gets their first takeaway here in the second half. 2nd down and 9 from the 16. Good protection for Reno. Pocket moves, checks down out of the backfield. Brady Wagner, the sophomore tight end, with his first catch of the day, 2nd target, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Can't believe how low scoring this game is. It's just been an odd game script with some turnovers in big spots, long fields to navigate, but a huge 3rd down here for the Princeton offense after really feeling like there was a methodical drive going on. And Darion Murphy puts it on the ground, 3rd and long for the Bulldogs.
We'll get into some of the recent high-scoring affairs as we go along in this one. 3rd down and 9 for the Bulldogs, back at their own 16. Yale 3 for 6 on 3rd down. Reno is going to run, get tripped up, and get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a couple yards. That's a Princeton sack. Jake Moore, the sophomore from Nashville, will bring up 4th down and force the Bulldogs to punt.
And more than anything, I mean, this is a momentum shifter for Princeton. You can feel it on the sideline. You can feel it in the crowd. After, you know, you could hear a pin drop after the fumble. The crowd making noise again. On a great day here in Princeton for football, it's got that November chill. It just feels like a college football Saturday, and these fans have been treated to a dandy.
For the 2nd time here in the second half, Keeney to punt it away, gets it away, booming, spiraling kick for Robinson, who makes the fair catch at the 38. 48-yard punt, no return, and the Tigers will take over when we get back. 5:20 to go, 3rd quarter, 7-point contest. Princeton jumped out to a 3-0 lead in front of a great senior day crowd against the Bulldogs, but 10 unanswered points for Yale to end up the first half. Still looking for our first points on the second half scoreboard as Princeton will come back on the field offensively. Talked about the high-scoring affairs these teams have played 2 years ago in Princeton, a 36-28 Yale victory in double overtime. Couple of meetings before that. Princeton 2018, 59 points. The next year, Yale returning the favor in a 51-14 Bulldogs victory here. Last year in New Haven, the Bulldogs put up 42 points, so a little bit strange to see 10-3 late in the third quarter. Ethan Clark back in the contest, drags a defender and fights hard for just 1 yard.
Yeah, this clock is running fast because both teams are keeping the ball on the ground. And Ethan Clark's got to be the workhorse here. You talk not only about the ball security issues, but also about pass protection, which has been a major issue. And for young guys that came into the season 4th or 5th on the depth chart, you know, stepping up in a big way, give them credit due to injury. But that's a big task against this pass rush, just step up to these guys in the backfield.
Princeton's had some sustained drives, just hasn't been able to convert them into points as Robinson streaks across midfield. First down, Princeton into Bulldog territory.
Take another look. Good design. 2 steps. That's 3 seconds, and that's what it's got to be. Cologne's got to get the ball out of his hand. When it gets to 5, Yale's going to be there.
18 yards, first down, Princeton. Play action, Cologne taking a shot downfield, has Robinson with a step on the defender, but it's overthrown. Tarver, the safety, back in coverage.
Yeah, Tarver's done a great job where Cologne is probably leading or thinking he needs to lead Robinson a little bit too much, because Tarver's done a nice job not only staying step for step with the speedy receiver Josh Robinson, but also the wingspan he has to close the gap.
Princeton, their sustained drives, 10 plays, nearly 7 minutes punt, 14 plays, time runs out in the first half, 11 plays, fumble. So they've been able to string things together. It just hasn't been turned into points as Cologne pushes ahead for a yard.
Take a look here. Fooled me, a good play fake there to Clark. But that second level of the defense is right there to make a big stop. Great job by Abu Kamara, one of the best in the league, showing him how it's done.
Princeton just 5 of 14 converting third down today as Clark dances off the left hip of Cologne. Another play that takes a while to develop, nearly intercepted by Webster as Cologne hits the deck.
Yeah, Cologne extends the play, overthrows Robinson. Jackson Green might have had a shot on it, but so did Yale. Take a look here. It's over Robinson. Green's not expecting it. And Webster back there as well.
Brady Clark comes on for his 4th punt. He'll kick it away to Jackson Santiago, the sophomore.
An opportunity to really pin Yale back deep.
Clark's pinned his opponents inside the 20 more than anybody else in the Ivy League, and the Bulldogs will be backed up inside their 10 when we get back to Powers Field. 10-3 Yale on top, looking to pick up a victory on the road here in Princeton.
Sorokin, diving player, that should open things up here. Jam play, they score! On the wraparound, it is Riley Sorokin. Her first NCAA goal is an absolute beauty. Tigers win in overtime, 1-0 Princeton.
It is going to be a memorable first NCAA goal. What a night for Riley Sorokin. She stood out all night long.
School spirit is to be proud of where you come from.
Camaraderie, energy, family.
10 years ago, Graduate Hotels was founded on the idea that school spirit stays with you wherever you go. To celebrate, we brought together a marching band of students past and present who embody the true meaning of that spirit. Meeting for the first time in Princeton, New Jersey, the band shares their stories and reminds us that no matter where we come from or where we're going, we are all students.
I don't care what school you go to, the spirit never dies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to Powers Field. Tony Reno and Bob Serace's relationship stems beyond being on the opposing sidelines. It goes back to when their sons, Dante Reno, who is the starting quarterback for Yale, and AJ Serace, the quarterback at Rutgers, were being recruited as sophomores. Head coach for the Princeton Tigers, Bob Serace, told us a story about both of their sons being recruited. They would go to recruiting events, showcases, Elite 11 camps, and they would sit in the stands together and just be dads, support their sons, watch them throw. You can imagine two Ivy League head coaches in the stands together would be bombarded by parents trying to talk to them about recruiting their sons, but the two of them, they would stick together and support their sons because there's room for everyone, and they just wanted to see where their sons would land.
It's always been fascinating, and I think it's one of the wonderful things about the Ivy League, right? It's 8 teams. It's been the same 8 teams since the mid-50s when the league was founded. So the coaches do develop relationships, right? On and the field, off the field, and, you know, Bob Serace, there's guys that they're competitive with, but if you ask him who some of his mentors in this game are, he'll mention, you know, the late Buddy Tevens, Al Bagnoli, guys like that who have been opponents.
Offense.
Yeah, as we see a false start by Yale that'll back them up 5 yards. But it's exactly right. And I think when you look at the Ivy League recruiting pool, it's a lot smaller than a Power 4 conference, right? So they're all at the same camps. They're vying for the same players. So, of course, there are rivalries. These rivalries are as old as they get, right? You know, but for Dante Reno starting out at South Carolina and then coming back to play for his dad, AJ Serace stays close to home playing for Greg Schiano, who Bob Serace has a great relationship up in Piscataway at Rutgers. You know, it's a great story, and it just shows that the ties kind of outlast the rivalries.
After the 5-yard penalty, they go back to their bell cow Pitzenberger, and he picks up 6. And for Dante Reno, right, a top 50 quarterback nationally, recruited by South Carolina, got into one game last year as a freshman. Transferred, right, had essentially played for 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years, was recruited when Marcus Satterfield was there. He's now the tight ends coach at Nebraska. Then Dowell Loggins was the offensive coordinator. He's now the head coach at App State. So, right, it's not just coming home, playing for your father and settling right in. It's 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years and then coming to Yale and sort of starting over and having to learn a new offense and a pretty complicated offense.
And getting on the field. I mean, let's not, you know, make any bones about it. It's not just you pay your dues in a Power 4 and you're going to find the field. It's a new era with the transfer portal and everything that goes into it. You know, you can go 5 years at a Power 4 conference and never see the field.
Bubble screen, left side, Nico Brown, their leading receiver, who's been quiet today. That's just his 3rd catch. I say quiet today. He had a 56-yard catch earlier in the contest, but just his 3rd catch, just his 4th target. And now a 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Can't say enough about this Princeton defense today. They've done a really good job in tackling, you know, and to keep Yale down to 10 points, the offense has got to keep pace.
Reno flushed, being chased by Sanders. He's going to hit the sideline, gets bumped out of bounds by Scarano, and it looks like he's going to be about half a yard short.
He's short. Scarano definitely met him at the 32. He had to get to the 33, so it'll be 4th and 1, and it looks like the offense will stay on the field. For a second there, I thought Reno had enough green grass to get it done, but Scarano breaks on the ball and delivers a big hit on the sideline. And it looks like Yale is bringing out special teams here. Watch out here. This just feels like there could be some trickery.
It's been a defensive struggle today, a 7-point contest. They will punt it away with Keeney. Wow. And the Rice transfer, another booming kick. Robinson a chance to return, and he's on his feet. Knocked back at the 30-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will take over with 12 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Couple of booming punts by Keeney.
Yale with something you don't see a lot in the Ivy League. We talked about Dante Reno, one of 6 transfers they brought in this year. Their punter, the reigning Ivy Special Teams Player of the Week, Reese Keeney, another transfer. Knoxville, Tennessee native who spent last season at Rice.
Yeah, Yale's done a nice job in this new era with the transfer portal, and it's an attractive place to transfer to, right? A lot of these Ivy teams don't take a ton, but to go to an institution like Yale, it's clearly, you know, an upgrade in a lot of ways for these kids that want to get on the field and get a great education.
Cologne taking a shot downfield, looking for Lorio, and it's nearly intercepted. Chris White, the sophomore cornerback, there with the breakup. 4 seconds to go in the quarter.
So take another look. This again just kind of hangs up there and ends up behind Lorio. And everyone just kind of mistimed it. Now the wind is not blowing, at least if the flags have anything to say about it, but that one hung up there.
Throwing off his heels.
A little bit.
Likely the final play of the quarter. Here's Christian Lynch, and he gets chopped down after a gain of 1, and that'll be the final play here in the third quarter. 15 minutes later, we are right where we were at the half. Yale 10, Princeton 3. Back with the start of the fourth quarter after this.
Welcome back to Powers Field. Former Princeton Tiger, now Indianapolis Colt, Jalen Travis joining us. Jalen, last week you're in Berlin playing for the Colts. You're on a bye week to rest, but you're on another plane ride to be back here in Princeton. How has this program made an everlasting impact on your life?
It's incredible. It's incredible. I wouldn't trade my 4 years here for anything in the world. The relationships, the people, the belief that this place has given me and myself and my ability to whether compete in the NFL or in the world, outside of the NFL is unparalleled. And it's, my fortune to be able to come back here and inspire and show my love to guys that I played with, guys that I shared this field with. It's truly an honor.
It's senior day. Take us back to your senior day. Is there a moment that stands out to you?
Obviously, when you're walking out that tunnel with your parents, a lot of teary eyes, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that was paid on this gridiron, and really to see guys that I played with share that moment with their families, even brought some tears to my eyes because it's real. And I know, we had a fight my senior year versus Yale, went into overtime, ended up coming up short, but I think this moment is truly special.
Bob Surace talks a lot about Tigers having success in the NFL. He's referring to you as one of them. How does it feel to be an inspiration to current and future Tigers?
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. And I like to tell people, at Princeton, we have a very atypical student-athlete experience. We are full-time students, but also full-time athletes. And I think for me, especially competing in the NFL, I'm able to dedicate myself to football fully in a way that I haven't been able to my entire life, but using the skills I learned in the classroom, using the skills I learned obviously with the football program here and off the field to really excel in spaces where you are with the best of the best, you are with the most talented in the world, and take pride in my work in doing so.
Thanks for joining us, Jalen. I'll let you enjoy the fourth quarter, even though you're getting bombarded with pictures being back.
It's been nonstop. It's been nonstop, but all love. I love my people here, so it's been awesome.
Thanks, Jalen.
I appreciate it. Thank
Cody,
you.
Dave, back to you.
The Bulldogs defense with a third down stop, and that'll force Brady Clark onto the field. Jalen Travis, not only an all-conference player for the Tigers, but just an awesome representative of the Princeton community, and then got the Princeton degree, transferred for his grad year, played a season at Iowa State, fourth-round pick by the Colts, and now living his dream in the NFL and a chance to come back to Princeton on the bye week.
Yeah, and you can see what it means to him. And, he's done a lot outside of football. He interned in a U.S. State Senator's office in Washington, D.C., and I think that illustrates, right, he talks about the atypical experience, the full-time, student, full-time athlete. And, we get to talk to these players, and they want to do so much more outside of the gridiron. And for the lion's share, they say most NCAA student athletes will go professional in something other than sports. And I think Princeton, you see people that become world leaders and can change the world.
Still looking for our first points here in the second half. It was 10-3 heading into the locker room. It's 10-3 here a minute deep into the fourth quarter. Scoreboard watching, Harvard has taken a third quarter lead at home against Penn. Why is that important? Well, Harvard 5-0 coming into the day, Yale 4-1, and those two play next week in New Haven. First down and 10, Reno nearly tripped up, trying to get to the sideline, and he gets knocked down by Haney.
A good east-west pursuit by Haney to get Reno down. So it'll be 2nd and 11 for Yale, and regardless, if Harvard's coming down to Yale, Yale's coming down to Princeton, you still have to be on 95 in Connecticut, and that's the biggest problem.
It's going to be fascinating the next couple of weeks. You look at the landscape around the FCS as Reno fires right side. That's complete. Nico Brown's second catch here in the second half, and that's going to bring up third down. If Yale hangs on, if Harvard hangs on, you would essentially have a playoff game for the playoff spot in the second longest played rivalry in the Ivy League, third longest in the country, I think. The other big game next weekend, you may have two undefeated Patriot League teams, and Princeton saw Lafayette, but Lafayette and Lehigh, if they both win today, they'll be undefeated. Lehigh ranked 4th in the country. It's not a great slate of ranked FBS games. There's a chance one of those two maybe gets College game day. Ball nearly intercepted. The Tigers had a shot at it with Sammy Lamont, the senior. It'll go down as a third down pass breakup, and the Bulldogs will send the punt team on.
Can't remember seeing this many punts in a game, because the Ivy League tends to be kind of 4-down territory everywhere, and an opportunity missed there at a pick by Sammy Lamoth. But you know, again, a low-scoring affair here. Princeton keeps getting bites at the apple, and the Yale defense is just living up to its reputation and then some.
Keeney with a high spiraling kick. Robinson makes the fair catch at the 27-yard line, so that's a 46-yard punt with no return. 5 punts by Clark. 5 punts for Clark. That was the 4th punt today by Keeney, 3rd in the second half.
Holding number 30, kicking 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick, first down.
Jack Mahalik, a reserve wide receiver, the guilty party. And that'll tack 10 yards on to the end of the play when we get back to Princeton. 10-3 Bulldogs on top here in the 4th quarter.
We got loose. Come on, we got to bring him home. Get up alongside him. Get ready. Here it comes. Now, turn him now.
Someone once said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
Is that? Wow. It's gonna be okay.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Walk a mile in our shoes, from the classroom to the locker room. Here, our promise and our passion propel us down paths few dare to travel. We venture forward, energized with every step. We defy convention in defining ourselves, pushing to achieve, serve, and lead at the highest level. With teammates, teachers, coaches, and classmates at our side. Together, we are Tigers. Together, we are Princeton.
Yale 10, Princeton 3. 147th meeting in the second most played series in all of college football, behind only Lehigh and Lafayette. 1873, the first time these teams tangled. There was a delay in that one. The ball burst and took them 30 minutes to find another one. You remember that one well. First and 10 for the Tigers. Kai Cologne, 8 of 18, 109 yards. On the ground, and it'll be Arthur again, the freshman who on the last Tigers series got his first career carry. Chance Arthur came into the season 6th on the Tigers running back depth chart, maybe not even that high, but they're banged up. We haven't seen Kai Honda the past couple of weeks. Darion Murphy very limited. Lynch has struggled to get anything going.
Yale showing blitz off the edge.
Screen pass left side. Robinson looking for some blocking. Has a seam. He could go. Josh Robinson tried to cut it towards the sideline. Gets his helmet ripped off at the 12-yard line, but a huge gain. 51 yards. Cologne to Robinson.
Yale's asking for a flag to be thrown, probably because Josh Robinson doesn't have a helmet, but I think it was the tackle that removed the helmet on 86.
I think it's either got to be, right, if there's no penalty that removes the helmet, he's got to come off the field, right? He's going to come off the field anyway after that sprint. There's your likely Ivy League Rookie of the Year. Princeton trying to tie it up here in the 4th quarter. First down and 10, back to Clark. Tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Phoenix. Grant, the junior out of Texas, with the stop.
I think it was Webster on the stop who actually did a nice job, because I think if Robinson had cut left instead of right,
probably gone.
Probably pay dirt. But Webster made him guess a little bit and ran right at him.
Yeah, this Yale defense has lived up to the billing.
And a perfect play call against the edge pass rush to get it out of the hands of Cologne into Robinson quickly. Robinson back in the game.
Princeton can get a first down inside the 2-yard line. 2nd down and 7 to Clark up the middle. Shakes a tackle. Barrels his way inside the 5 to the 3.
Should be 3rd and short here. 3rd and 1 for the Tigers. And I was going to say, will we see Asher Weiner? And he does come into the game. Asher Weiner, he's a quarterback, but he can run with the ball. He'll line up at tight end, which is what I think we're going to see here.
They're going to have Ethan Clark in the backfield. You've got Weiner in. You've got Musser in as an extra tight end without Wassler. Give to Clark running up the middle. Should have at least enough of the first down as he gets to the 1.
He got really close, but not enough for the touchdown. But Princeton, this is going to be all about ball security and who wants it more. And I'm talking about the big fellas up front. Can Princeton get the push? Princeton can keep it on the ground 3-4 straight times here and try to get the push and get the elusive touchdown they've been looking for all day.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Man in motion. High snap. Cologne's going to pull it down. Nearly a disaster for the Tigers, who say they're in the end zone. The officials say they're just short. Oof.
Good hands by the quarterback. Wow, the high snap at the wrong time. And disaster mitigated by Kai Cologne, who not only gets the ball, but gets back to the line of scrimmage and then maybe a couple more inches. The ball does not cross the line of scrimmage, so good call there by the officials.
2nd down and goal from the 1. Keener in motion. Give Clark. Did he spin his way into the end zone? Touchdown, Princeton, Ethan Clark, and it's a 1-point contest.
They review every scoring play. He rolled. It's going to be very interesting as to when his knee touched and where that ball was when the knee touched. It looked like from up here, which is pretty far away, folks, that he was in. But I'd be interested to see here, and we will, the replay. All right, the knee goes down late, and it looks like the full upper body was across the goal line.
Critical extra point chance here for Esteban Nunez-Perez. Puts the right foot into it, splits the uprights, and we've got a brand new ball game with 8:46 to go in the 4th quarter here in Princeton.
What a game. It's not 41-41 like maybe folks thought it would be, but it is tied. Josh Robinson, a game-breaking play, gets Princeton its first touchdown, and they tie it up here at home.
Ethan Clark, the junior running back from Clarkston, Michigan, came in averaging 85 yards per game on the ground over the last month. So far today, 85 yards, and the lone score from either team here in the second half. And it's a big one as it pulls it to a 10-10 game with 8:46 to go in the contest.
Yeah, he's done a great job carrying the workload for the Princeton backfield, who have been bitten by injuries this season. Darion Murphy getting back in the fray today with a couple of carries. They're without Kai Hondo, who's kind of burst on the scene as a viable option there as well.
Vaughn Lennon handling kickoff duties today. The freshman puts the right foot into it and sidewinds it out of the back of the end zone.
I think, Princeton's defense, both defenses have done a tremendous job. I think Princeton's defense probably overachieving a little bit more than Yale, given, the offensive power that Yale comes into the game with. And Princeton has been asked to do a lot, right? Like, you're holding Yale to 10 points. You're hoping your offense has 21, 24 by now at least. So Princeton's been asked to do a lot. Can they keep doing it? I mean, this is fourth quarter Ivy League football on senior day. I don't think the motor and the conditioning is going to be an issue at this point in the season. There's a lot on the line.
The Princeton defense, if you look at the overall season metrics, they're not that impressive. But then if you break it down and peel back the layers of the onion the past couple of weeks, really impressive what they've been able to do. Quick screen pass, Jackson Santiago for a gain of 6. Last week, Princeton on the wrong end of a 2017 score on the road against Dartmouth, place they haven't won since 2009. That's deceiving because Dartmouth, 2 early interceptions, one of them with a short field. It's 14-0 out of the gate. The Tigers then hold Dartmouth to 6 points basically the last 3 quarters. From the 31-yard line, Pitzenberger trying to drag the defense, and he's got a Bulldog first down.
Yeah, you got to think in a series like this, Pitzenberger, we're going to be saying that name a lot, rightfully so. He's earned the right to be that fourth quarter go-to, need to win a game back, and there's been no bigger game than this one for Yale to need to win to set up that showdown with Harvard, who have taken the lead against Penn.
19 carries, 85 yards for Pitzenberger as the first down pass is incomplete at the feet of the intended target, Nico Brown. You talked about Brown earlier. Coming into the season, 0 career catches over 3 seasons. Comes into this one second in the Ivy League in receiving behind Penn's Jared Richardson, who's a potential NFL draft pick.
And Nasir Hill trying to get the crowd on its feet. Senior day captain.
Second down, check down, Pitzenberger with his 12th catch of the season. And that'll make it third down and short. Actually, may have gotten there. They're going to move the chains.
Yep. Saw the line judge just keep walking. Take a look here. Pitzenberger slips and then just follows the blocking.
There's a lot of similarities between Ethan Clark and Josh Pitzenberger as far as the style that they play.
Yep.
New running back in the contest. Looks like Billy Dow, who thought he had a touchdown earlier in the contest. They reviewed it, they marked him down at the 1, and then Yale was able to punch it in.
Yeah, and Princeton's got to get Yale into some passing situations, because if Yale's going to throw change of pace backs in and still have success, this clock's going to wind down very quickly.
Dante Reno just 10 of 15, 146 yards and those 2 interceptions. Bubble screen right side. Nico Brown and another Bulldog first down.
Sometimes it takes the pressure to get an offense to click, right? When Yale needed to score quickly in the first half, they did. And then, they were up by a touchdown. You don't feel that pressure. And now they feel it again. And you feel like Dante Reno, Josh Pitzenberger and company, when they need to click, they can.
From the Tigers, 37 in a tie ball game, Pitzenberger, met by Scarano, shakes the tackle, finally dragged down by Roberts, who had those 2 first-half interceptions.
And Princeton was holding Yale to a shockingly high amount of 3rd and longs, right? But Yale on this drive has said, we're going to rely on the offensive line and an all-Ivy running back to get into those second and short second and mid situations, which really open up the playbook for an offense and put you in the best success, or the best situation for success, rather.
2nd down and 5 from the 32-yard line. Nothing fancy on this drive, but the Bulldogs continue to move the chains. Worth noting that Josh Pitzenberger, for the first time in his career now, over 1,000 yards in a season, and he did that on his 2nd or 3rd carry.
Yeah. And you said nothing fancy. I mean, that's the dream, right? To be able to do this without being fancy. And Yale's getting that push up front.
Fresh set of downs at the Princeton 25. Pitzenberger again. Down to the Tiger 20. Another 5-yard chunk play from the senior running back out of Bethesda, Maryland.
Yep, and another 2nd and 5. Yale's not feeling the need to go downfield and force the situation. Just keep it simple until Princeton can prove they can stop it, at least on this drive, because all game long Princeton has stopped it. But this drive just feels different.
Reno is going to keep it designed run right and picks up a yard. All you need to know about Josh Pitzenberger, Yale has one captain, and it's him. Injury for the Tigers, Marco Scarano. Speaking of captains, down at the 10-yard line as the training staff will sprint off the sideline.
And he sits up.
Yale facing a 3rd and 4 will step away with 4:12 to go as they tend to the Tigers' senior linebacker. After Princeton pulled even, the Yale Bulldogs trying to return the favor when we get back on offense. It'll be the 11th play of this drive. And another critical 3rd down, Dave. 3rd down and 4 from the Tiger 19.
Huge play here. You'd think it might be 4-down territory. Regardless of the outcome of this play, so long as it's a 0 or positive play.
3rd down and 4 from the 19-yard line. Pitzenberger gets hit in the backfield and dropped. Big day continues for the sophomore linebacker, Jake Moore. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 5, and now the Bulldogs have a decision to make as we've got a Tiger down injured.
Yeah, Pitzenberger can never get that momentum going, and you talk about it. What a day for the sophomore on senior day, raising his level of play. For the guys he's learned from, a play after Scarano was down.
4th down, tie game, 4 minutes to go. This would be a 37-yard field goal. Yale's kicker is a first-year Noah Piper, who's been perfect inside 40 and has hit from 50 this season.
And I see the long snapper warming up, kicker getting loose. So we're going to see Yale most likely try to get this 3-point lead.
That's Chris Oliver, the sophomore defensive tackle out of Basking Ridge, New Jersey. 4th down, they will bring on Noah Piper, first year out of Flower Mound, Texas. Product of Green Hill School in Dallas, where he connected on a 52-yarder.
From the middle of the field.
His first career field goal attempt for the Bulldogs was good from 50. This will be from 37 to give Yale the lead. The kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Noah Piper, the impressive freshman season continues. He's now 12 for 14. And it's 13-10 Bulldogs with under 4 minutes to play.
A great kick with a lot on the line and a lot of pressure. He steps up, and it's true. And for Princeton, you know, glass half full, look at that drive. I mean, Yale methodically moving the ball, and you end up forcing the field goal. So Yale does take the 13-10 lead. But for the Princeton offense, you now know what you need to do with 3:50 to go to pull off a monumental upset, given everything on the line in the Ivy League this year. Again, the winner of the Ivy League automatically qualifies for the playoffs at the FCS level for the first time. Previously, the champion of the Ivy League got all the roses, all the rings, but did not get to play in the postseason, and that changes this year for the very first time.
Not a ton of returnable kicks in Ivy-on-Ivy play because they tee it up at the 40-yard line, but the Tigers have two playmakers back deep in Josh Robinson and Paul Keener. We've seen what Robinson can do, the likely Ivy Rookie of the Year. Keener, a very good Ivy League sprinter for Princeton track and field. Fair catch called for and made by Robinson. 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go, 3-point contest. Each team with all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, that's a good point on the timeouts, Cody. You know, this is going to be a chess game on both sides. Princeton's got to get a couple first downs. It goes without saying you don't want to give the ball back. This, you know, in Princeton's perfect scenario is you drive down the field and you essentially walk it off with 6 points. But the Yale defense has shown how good it is. They can force turnovers, and they can make Kai Cologne feel really uncomfortable with the pass rush.
On the ground, Clark couldn't quite break that initial tackle, but picks up 3. And for Clark, he's creeping up on 100 yards. He's now got 22 carries for 88, including the lone Princeton touchdown today. 9 games for the Tigers. Clark has found himself in the end zone in 7 of them. On 2nd and 7, right back to the junior, picks up 2 more, and now quickly 3rd down and 5.
Quickly a huge 3rd down. Princeton's going to get their best playmakers on the field for perhaps their biggest offensive play of the year. Besselman and Robinson outright.
Just about everyone within the hashes as well as they motion Clark. 3rd down and 5. Quick hit right side. Robinson makes the catch. Let's see if they give him forward progress.
Wow. They're going to give it to him. If the far line judge is any indication, they're going to move the chains. Mr. Clutch. Josh Robinson walked onto campus and immediately made it known that if you need a first down, you come to me, and he does it again.
Tarver making the one-handed tackle. Otherwise, it would have been a lot more. And Josh Robinson, his first career 100-yard receiving game. 1st and 10, Princeton with 2:20 to go. Ethan Clark, nowhere to go.
Princeton cannot put itself in consecutive 3rd down and longs. They've got to show the ability to get first downs on first or second down on this drive as we get a timeout on the field.
2-minute timeout. Princeton with the football, Yale with the lead. We'll be back to wrap it up after this from Princeton.
School spirit is to be proud of where you come from.
Camaraderie, energy, family.
10 years ago, Graduate Hotels was founded on the idea that school spirit stays with you wherever you go. To celebrate, we brought together a marching band of students past and present who embody the true meaning of that spirit. Meeting for the first time in Princeton, New Jersey, the band shares their stories and reminds us that no matter where we come from or where we're going, we are all students.
I don't care what school you go to, the spirit never dies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Is that? Wow. It's gonna be okay.
Walk a mile in our shoes, from the classroom to the locker room. Here, our promise and our passion propel us down paths few dare to travel. We venture forward, energized with every step. We defy convention in defining ourselves, pushing to achieve, serve, and lead at the highest level. With teammates, teachers, coaches, and classmates at our side. Together, we are Tigers. Together, we are Princeton.
What a battle it's been in Cambridge. 8-0 Harvard with a 2-point lead early fourth quarter over Penn. Tremendous quarterback battle there between Liam O'Brien for the Quakers and Jaden Craig for the Crimson. And then in Manhattan, back and forth they go in the second half. Brown taking a 31-29 lead. Two teams looking for their first Ivy League victories. And a little bit of a later kickoff, 1 o'clock in Hanover at Dartmouth with a 3-point lead against a Cornell team that's won 4 consecutive games after an 0-4 start. 4 Ivy League games, all within a field goal. Second down and 10 for the Tigers from their own 35-yard line with Weiner in motion. Robinson slot left. 4-man rush, Cologne. Steps up, shakes the tackle, gets away, gets hit hard over the middle. Worked hard to get 2 yards, and again, third down for the Tigers.
Yeah, it looks like Princeton was trying to take a big bite downfield, but again, the pocket collapses quickly on Cologne, and he's forced to tuck it and run.
Third down and 8 from the 37. Princeton 7 of 18 on third down. Cologne moving in the pocket, hits the helmet of a defender, nearly intercepted by Abu Kamara and hit the turf. That would have likely sealed the Yale victory, and now if you're the Tigers, 1:24 to go, you've got 3 timeouts. But the offense is going to stay on the field.
And this, after the bobble was up there, Kamara, gosh, you think 99 times out of 100 he makes that catch.
Fourth down on the ball game, and you wonder if they're going to take another look at it. No, it'll be a Yale timeout. First charged team timeout by either of these squads in the second half. Next week, Princeton on the road at Penn to wrap up the regular season, and Harvard and Yale. The game.
The game of all games, with the playoffs on the line. If this score holds, and this play will likely determine whether this score, or at least this outcome, holds. So for Princeton, You got to draw up your best play, and you've got to know that Yale is coming, and they are coming fast. Whether it's a 3, 4, or more man rush, they're going to try and keep Kai Cologne uncomfortable, as they've been able to do all day.
They've got him on the turf 6 times. That's a season high. 4th down and 8 from the 37. Here's the ball game. Cologne fires over the middle, sliding Robinson. 1st down across midfield.
Now, Cody, I haven't broken down the stat sheets on all those close Ivy League games, but it'd be tough to imagine somebody else winning Ivy League Rookie of the Week.
Cologne gets decked, tosses it up, and it's intercepted. Six sacks, the interception by the Bulldogs, and that should do it with 1:04 to go. That's Josh Tarver, who's been all over the field today.
Can't say enough about Tarver. Robinson has gotten his, that's for sure, but Tarver has been right there, and he gets the biggest play of the season defensively for Yale to likely preserve a victory and set up a huge showdown with Harvard next week.
That's not going to go down as the 7th sack for the Bulldogs, but that's the hardest they've hit Cologne today.
After a huge 1st down, Yale, the pressure gets to Cologne, and they get the pick.
Victory formation for Reno. No, he's going to hand it off Pitzenberger with Princeton with all 3 timeouts. So I may have spoken too soon, right? If you're Princeton, you get 3 stops, you have 3 timeouts. Yale has to kick it away again. And the Tigers will take their 1st timeout.
Yeah, you may
Princeton
get the ball
just
back.
Looks dejected.
You could get the ball back here, right? I mean, Yale will keep it on the ground. You know that. So you kind of put a bunch of guys in the box and try to get the ball back, but it'll be a tall glass of water to try to get back down the field. You never say never. We've seen high snaps. So you just got to try to disrupt.
Josh Pitzenberger has the lone Yale touchdown today, and he's 1 yard shy of 100 on the afternoon. 2nd down and 6. A 1st down would seal it. Drags the pile, and that will do it. 1st down run for Pitzenberger, the likely Bushnell Cup winner. Tigers will take a timeout.
Yep, Bob Serace uses his 2nd timeout, but that will seal it. Pitzenberger puts the shoulder down and gets it done, and Bob Serace knows how close his team was in this one. But Yale just too tough on both sides of the ball. Yale can put up a ton of points, but they showed a different way they can win here today, and it's going to make them a lot tougher going in to a playoff for the playoff next week.
Back-to-back 3-point losses on the road the last 2 weeks for Princeton, at Cornell and at Dartmouth, and it looks like that trend will carry over here today. Tigers have been so close. Now victory formation for Dante Reno, who will drop down. Princeton has 1 timeout, and they'll take it.
Yep, so it'll be 2 more knees for Yale. Princeton without any timeouts, and Dante Reno starts congratulating his teammates on a win well earned.
So if this score holds, the Bulldogs would improve to 5-1 in the Ivy League, 7-2 on the season. Harvard coming into their contest at home against Penn. Still a lot of football to be played in Cambridge, but the Crimson, top 15 program in both polls, 8-0 on the season, 5-0 in the Ancient 8. That game next weekend in New Haven at the Yale Bowl. And again, the first season, the Ivy League champion goes to the FCS playoffs. One final knee by Dante Reno, 45 seconds to go. Bulldogs can take a penalty and then take one more knee, and that'll wrap it up. You look at the Bulldogs and what they've done this year, 4 straight wins, about to be 5, and their lone losses on the road, back-to-back weeks, on the road at Lehigh, which certainly nothing to be ashamed of. The Mountain Hawks, number 4 in the country and undefeated, and then on the road at Dartmouth, thanks to a walk-off field goal, and that's it, separating the Bulldogs from perfection through 9 weeks.
So Yale will take a timeout, setting up their final knee to drain the final 8 seconds off of this fourth quarter clock.
(13-10) Bulldogs on top. They have to take one final knee to sew up their 5th consecutive victory. Nothing fancy offensively for Yale today. Pitsenberger, 24 carries, 106 yards, and their lone touchdown. 2 field goals by their freshman kicker, Piper. And the Bulldogs are going to make it 5 consecutive wins and set up a winner-take-all next week against Harvard in New Haven for the outright Ivy League title and the automatic bid to the FCS playoffs. The Tigers suffer their 4th consecutive loss, 3 in a row, by just a field goal here on Senior Day.
Yeah, so Princeton will wrap it up next week at Penn in Philadelphia. But the story, and rightfully so, as it is many years, is the game. Harvard and Yale, winner-take-all scenario. Harvard's still playing, but regardless, they'll either go into that game with 0 losses and a perfect 9-0 record, or they'll go in 8-1 with 1 Ivy League loss. Yale has the 1 Ivy League loss. If they both go in with 1 loss in the Ivy League, the winner of next week's game wins the tiebreaker, the head-to-head tiebreak, and goes to the playoffs automatically. It's going to be electric.
All eyes will be on New Haven a week from today. And again, it was the Yale defense today. They came in top 10 in the country, 2nd in the Ivy League in most defensive metrics, and they hold the Tigers to 10 points, just 1 touchdown. Bend but not break. Princeton had some sustained offensive drives. Yale just slammed the door every time the Tigers had some daylight, and it really started with that pass rush.
It was the pass rush. It was the internal clock for the quarterback, and it was ticking fast. If Kai Cologne didn't get rid of it quickly, it was all but assumed there was going to be contact. They were fast and furious on every level of the defense, 1, 2, and 3. And then the pick at the end of the game to seal it after Princeton and Josh Robinson, who had a great game, got that huge 4th down conversion. Yale's defense just way too tough today.
Waiting on Natalie to grab one of the Yale Bulldogs' team defensive efforts. So I don't know that we're going to name a player of the game. And we talked about it, Dave, just so much talent. You look at all 3 levels. They've got some playmakers there. And for the Bulldogs here today, look at their leading tackler, and that was Grant, the reigning Ivy League Defensive Player of the Week. Abu Kamara, one of their defensive leaders, with 10 tackles. And let's send it down to Natalie, who's standing by with the Yale junior.
Abu Kamara joining us now. Abu, Princeton tested you. They stayed in it the whole time. It was bend, but don't break. How were you guys able to pull this one off?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
How were you guys able to pull this one off?
It's just a testament to our brotherhood. It's our process, it's what we do. We love each other, our relationships are strong. So when in a crunch time, we'll come through. The brothers will always come through.
Next weekend is a big one. You play for an Ivy League championship and a little bit of history, potential to go to the playoffs. What would that mean to this program?
It'll be a lot for this program, but it'll be a lot for the Ivy League as well to show the type. It'll show the type of talent we have here in the Ivy League, and I can't wait to put that on the show for the country.
I want to talk about this brotherhood, a lot of support. What has this team meant to you?
It meant a lot. Out of high school, I wasn't really recruited by any schools, but Coach Reno and the Yale staff took a chance on me, and I'll forever love them for that.
They did a good job with that one. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Taking a chance on Abu Kamara, one of the smartest things Tony Reno and his staff ever did. Abu Kamara, the first-team All-Ivy selection. Big part of this Yale victory, 7 different players picking up at least half a sack, and then the interception by Josh Tarver to seal the victory for the Bulldogs.
An incredible victory for the Yale Bulldogs, setting up the epic matchup between the Bulldogs and the Crimson at the Yale Bowl in New Haven next week. It's going to be a historic week for the Ivy League, and no two better representatives than how they've played this year than the Crimson and the Bulldogs. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to watch.
Stifling defense carrying the Bulldogs to their 5th consecutive victory, 13-10 the final score. Here in Princeton, as we say so long from Powers Field at Princeton Stadium, not the high-scoring affair we're used to seeing between the Tigers and the Bulldogs. Princeton had an early lead. The Tigers battled back to tie at the late field goal by the freshman. And the Bulldogs with a defensive stop and the interception on the final offensive play for the Tigers to seal it. So for Natalie Calabat-Witten and Dave Giancola and our entire crew here in Princeton, I'm Cody Crushell saying so long. The Bulldogs 5 straight wins, and they'll play for an Ivy League title next Saturday in New Haven.